Hello, hello, hello. We are back.
Oh.
It's been, Christmas is done, New Year's been and gone. I am a year older, and things are ready to go. Okay, Google, stop. Okay, Google, stop. Previously on To the Edge of Eternity, our crew had a bit of downtime while they waited for things to eventuate. For clothes and costumes, basically.
Those are important.
And tinker chicks.
So we had a rifle finally being made. We had research in libraries done. We had meetings organised in whorehouses, brothels. Soundproof room that, during a demonstration, terrified the customers there. Then we had a dwarf going sailing because he missed the sea and made a new friend. Prior to that, we had a artifact recovered for the jack of all trades. I think it summed it up best, basically. The king of thieves, basically. And discovered that there was a renegade dark-fist dwarf there that our wonderful, wonderful berserker barbarian, well, he's not a berserker, but our barbarian dwarf has sworn a vow to kill and bring to justice. I think that's everything relevant for the River Speed arc at this point.
Yeah, the details can be worried about anon.
I'm waiting for painkillers to kick in, so I'm a bit meh. We have our regulars here. I'll go over them quickly so we can introduce them. Since it's been a little bit, we've got our wonderful halfling rogue, Colwyn.
Hello, pet.
Originally under Liam from Summerford for a bit of a sticky situation, that what turned out to be a non-guild approved heist, all of which has been cleared up now. We also have our Phil has changed characters from his first character, Bastion, who is now a major part of the story, and with what's happened to him, playing Gelda, a dwarven barbarian of the Darkfist clan.
Hello. Smashy, smashy.
I don't approve of that.
I know.
Sorry.
Lost at sea, swum to the nearest beach, boasting of the storm's regret, and devout follower of life, and he now seeks to find out what's happened to his ship and to hunt down a exiled member of his clan, bringing about shame to his family. You've got Jadis, our wonderful tabaxi dancer, bard, school of dance. Sorry, man.
Pleasure is all yours.
Now leading the dance troupe that is to perform at the first summit that has been held between many nations ever to bring about better communications, treaties, and negotiations, which is a result of hard work of our last character, Varys, and his uncle, Lord Carrick.
Just saying, whenever you do that to your fists, we can hear it.
Yep.
It sounds sus. I'm trying to loosen up the chick himself. The chicken salt's a bit old and it's a bit clumpy.
I
You
believe we.
can defeat the meat.
I believe we have missed two. We've missed two of our normal players. We also have.
We've got Nord.
Yes, yes. We also have.
Anyway, but the lead-in was to your character through the summit.
Yes. And not to forget our gracious, lovely DM Asher.
Did you want to introduce your character since I led into it?
Hello.
Say hello.
Hello, I'm an elven rich kid.
Basically, we've also got attending this summit many of the cartographers, one of whom is the Archmage Gertrude Gibblesmith, who happens to be a mentor to our last player, Tenya, played by Nord.
Hi. So yeah, I'm the female artificer tinkerer of the group, with my ever-loving companion dog.
He doesn't
bit
have
of a not social person.
Tenya did make one fast friend from the start of the campaign with Bastion and the core that was given to her that belonged to Bastion's captain, Shepard. Unfortunately for them, they were ripped from her by a cloaked figure that has rained destruction and misery upon the cartographers and the party at various points.
Yes.
Which will lead us into tonight's session. As we finished last session, I believe Gelder had been instructed to take her out, lad.
Aye. And I did. Up the river we go.
So, up, you hear the quiet hum of the arcane core powering the momentum of the craft as you start travelling on the river. It's faster than a normal barge, but it's still not fast.
Well, we're going against the current, you know, lad.
Exactly. So you see the trees start to slide past. Nice, relaxing, cool on the water's edge. But the heat of the day starts to build. And fortunately, it's not a swampy area, so getting the bugs and whatnot. So what's everyone doing to pass the time on this journey?
Tinkering.
reading.
Also reading. I've got my book of goblin lore that I need to check up on
Well,
for schemes and shenanigans.
Small group, me and a small group of the novices are just sort of like kind of fiddling with musical instruments. Small kind of practice jam session at the back.
No worries. Does anyone want to do
I'm
anything
staring.
specific?
And I'll give it, since I've probably kind of taken position, maybe at the bow of the ship area, I'll kind of be keeping my eye out as well for anything happening on the shore.
Yeah, I'm busy working the ship.
Sorry, trying to eat while we're doing this because I left too late to start the food.
Don't.
And I've got Millie flying around, just letting me know if she sees anything.
Okay, so first things first. Gelder, I'll need you to make either a strength or a dexterity check with your proficiency to steer the ship.
Is that athletics or is it just straight strength?
Strength plus the proficiency, man.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm all right. You can add 3 to that, so 26.
Yeah, effortlessly. You've quite. What's the guy's name again?
What's that?
Boaty McBoatface.
Greg Orson.
I was about to
Yeah.
go looking for it. Greg is sitting nearby, nods at you in respect, and goes, "I'm going to go below, lad, and have a nap. Boat's yours."
Thank you very much, Captain. Have a lovely kip.
Benny, Triss with Millie's make a perception.
$20.
No, don't do that. You're bad computer. That is 16 plus 4, I think. 16, so 20.
Actually,
19,
you
sorry.
did a 2D there, man.
Yes, because it's with advantage if it's with sight,
Okay,
so I just took the
right,
highest one.
gotcha. As the day passes, you see signs of travel as the road to the north splitting off and heading more directly towards Dune City. You see several travellers on foot and horse, and you gather that even though you're not going by its direct route, you are moving faster than they are, and that it's an easier trip. So even though it's further, the time travel will be fairly similar at an easier pace. To the west, in the distance, Benny, Chris, you see storm clouds starting to build. Still some distance away.
I'll put my instrument down and wander over to Golda. Those do not look like friendly clouds over there.
Oh, I turn and look and just go, aye, that's not brilliant. Captain sleeping for the minute. Do I know how long it's going to be for them to catch up to us, Ash?
Survival for me. With advantage as a sailor.
Whoops. I'll roll another one. Hang on. That was a 17. 17.
You see, they're a fair way away. You gather that if they continue to build, they could speed up and hit you late this afternoon or tonight. Or if they build slower and larger and heavier, it's going to take longer. But it's going to be a torrential downpour if it does that. And it'd probably hit you the next day.
Right. Well, I'm going to keep an eye on it then in that case.
Yeah,
And if
roofing.
well, yeah, you can always go below deck. But I'll get the captain up if it's really catching up on us. If it's the slow one, I'll just report to the captain when he's back up again.
I'm wondering if the yeah. As far as I'm wondering if the cartographers went ahead this way, because if so, they in another fight with all the lightning and crap.
Who knows?
Sorry about turning people's ears. You know that you left before the cartographers did, but you don't go direct. You went to River's Meet first,
Mhm.
so you don't know if they're ahead of you or behind you. And you remember that they had other things to resolve regarding the village as well.
Very true. Plus, they can probably portal there.
Yep.
We're getting some heavy breathing through the mic.
Yeah. So the day continues. You keep an eye on those clouds, Calder. The barge. You hear the hum of the hurricane resonance from the core in the engine. And with the week you spent on the ship, you have grown accustomed to the sound of it, and everything seems to be running well. The wind picks up a little bit, the river gets a bit choppy, but it's nothing that you can't handle with your skill and those rolls you made earlier with the.
Right.
Jadis is gonna kind of usher her the troop that was practicing with her kind of below decks, put the instruments away and stuff.
Is anyone good with animals, so we can try and make sure the animals don't get scared by this?
Don't know. Depends which barge they're on.
That's a very good point.
They wouldn't have them on the same one as the passengers.
Possibly
Because
not.
that's fear of overloading.
Mhm.
So they'd be on the wave denture, is what you're saying, and you guys are on the river siren.
Yep.
Yeah. Most
We might have
likely.
one or two of the smaller animals, kind of like the pack pony kind of things that generally kind of follow along.
Okay.
But the majority of the carts and the larger horses would be on a separate barge,
Okay, so that's fine.
probably with their actual handlers.
Okay, you've got organised drivers as well and whatnot. That's
Yeah. They're
Yeah, it's
experienced
proper,
enough to know what to do.
caravan.
yeah. Well, all these expenses for poor Lord Gillison and the Bard's Guild.
Mhm.
World's tiniest violin begins to play.
No, really doesn't. So, as you're watching, get you to make another survival check for me there, Golda. Perception check for anyone that's watching out.
Am I advantage again, Ash?
Yeah, mate, as a sailor, yeah. And because you're focused on the Stormlord, etc.
18 for perception.
15. So close.
15 for perception.
You see several travelers that you had seen. This is mostly for Millie's check as she ranges further out at Varys's request. The road has ventured north more, but the travellers are moving a lot quicker now and looking over at the clouds more worriedly. The clouds don't seem to be moving, they just seem to be boiling and building. And you pointed out to Golda, he looks at it and shakes his head and goes, "It is going to be a big, bad blow, Golda, from what you can tell."
Mhm. So I know it's going to hit basically tomorrow morning then.
So should we pull the boats over and
It's up to the captain. Somebody go and wake him.
Well, I'll head down.
You go down, knock on his door. Hey, what's up? What can I do for you?
There appears to be a rather nasty storm forming.
The storm. Hey, I'll come up and have a look. Comes up on the deck.
It's-
Sorry, Vinny, go on.
I was going to say, it
James.
has been several hours that it hasn't moved.
Mm.
It's you saw it at about 10ish. It's now about midday, so it has been a couple of hours, like you said.
Mhm.
He comes up, comes to stand beside you there, Golda. And
Hi,
goes,
Greg. Looks like we've got a bit of a torrential downpour coming our way. Up to
"Hey,"
you what we do.
looks at it, frowning. Well, at this rate, I think we push through. I don't think it's going to hit today. Probably late tonight, tomorrow morning.
Right, that's what I was thinking, to get as much up the river as we can.
And we can push on. There's a few points to tie up. Few
Excellent.
drop off points. We can stables, whatnot. We can put the animals in, whatever. There's facilities along the way.
Excellent. Excellent.
Uh,
Right.
uh,
Well,
uh,
if
as
it
far as
comes to that, I'll steer there.
as far as this goes, do you need me to get a message to the what is the name of the other boat? Because we never decided.
The wave dancer. I said it just before.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wave Dancer. All right. Yeah. Do you need me to get a message to the Wave Dancer?
Hey, no, he can see it plain as day.
All right.
Tanya at one point will come up on deck and look as well, look around, and upon seeing the clouds, can she get a sense of it? Is it like a natural phenomenon, or does she sense anything magical about it?
Roll an Arcana for me. So that is a big storm.
I have +6.
I see the +6, but
I
it's
rolled
still
a 1.
it's just plus. I can see the +6. It's just
Yeah.
it's still a 7, man. It's a very big storm, and it is
Good
a long
start.
way away, so you can't really tell anything from it.
It's a storm. Good thing we're not an open ocean, because then we'd have waves to contend with as well.
As you saying this,
You don't get about much, do you?
as he's saying this, Goldie, you shake your head because you're aware that the river is a lot choppier now than it was even half an hour ago.
Yeah.
Just a quick
This
question:
water.
how does a storm actually affect a river? Because it doesn't really change the river much, unless it's been heavy
No, it
downpour
makes it
over a longer
choppier.
time.
It can make the river swell, obviously, with floodwaters.
But that takes a while to happen, though.
You're not going to get the
No.
size of the waves,
No, it
but you do
doesn't.
get waves.
It doesn't necessarily, nor you don't. The flash floods mean.
Put it this way, during the latest storm that hit the middle of England, which is now sort of like kind of majorly flooded, it was less than 20 minutes that the water rose 3 feet.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at bloody faster travel of the water, whatever.
Possibility of
And-
drowning.
Yeah, storm surges,
Yeah.
I think we get the point.
Anyway.
The man from the land of fjords has now been educated enough. And,
Anyway,
fjords, and don't remember rivers. We have a lot of rivers.
it's all right.
And
yeah,
mountains.
but lowland is not what the Scandinavians are known for. Enough said.
Anyway. As you continue through the day, you keep an eye on these clouds, and they are just boiling and bubbling, and they're not moving. They're just building in fury and intensity. You can tell even from this distance, watching the lightning dance among the clouds. Still a ways off, and it's growing larger. You can't tell if it's moving or it's just growing in fury.
Mhm.
I need you to roll another skill check for me for handling the boat.
Oh dear. 13.
Was that with advantage? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Damn.
It was.
It's not survival check, man. Strength with proficiency.
Oh, right. Sorry, yeah. And strength of proficiency turns out to be an 11.
You have to fight the rudder to keep it from tracking.
Yep.
It's getting ridiculous. We should put it in
Hold
somewhere.
up.
Sorry, I just wanted to have it quick.
Yep. As
we have to
as you're
shoot.
saying this, Colin, who's not holding on to anything or planted on anything?
Oh, I'm freaking holding on, claws and all.
You're downstairs, aren't you? Still or upstairs?
No, she came back up after she made sure
Okay.
kind of the rest of her troop down.
So,
She came back up to help.
so where's everybody
watch.
standing out of curiosity? I
Uh,
should have
Looking at
asked
the edge
this.
of rocky weather.
Okay,
I'm
starting from.
probably.
Go
Sorry,
on,
Karen.
Vinny.
I'm probably be in the worst spot in that I've taken sort of like kind of point at the frontish, the bow of the ship,
Okay.
and I'm sort of like kind of holding on to. I don't know if it's a mast.
So you're
or
holding on,
kind of
yeah.
something. Not the not the railing at the edge of the ship, sort of like kind of one of the little posts that normally
Okay.
crops up on the sides.
Yep. Tenure.
She'll be probably standing somewhere near the entrance. She'll be outside, but holding on near the entrance to inside the barge. So
Varus,
she's
whereabouts are you?
she's close to where she's tinkering.
I'm probably downstairs in a hammock.
You were reading it, right?
Yeah, I've put the book down and now I'm just full-time viewing it through Millie.
Yep. Yep, because that makes sense. Scully, you're holding on to the rudder for dear life at this point. Colin.
Yep.
He's with the things being choppy and the animated conversations. He's made his way up to the top deck and is probably at the prow at this point. Basically hanging on. Do I have all my stuff? Right, good. Get ready to jump and see if you can either make it to the bank or anywhere else. I've been on rivers before. Treacherous things.
So, as you're saying, you comment about looking for somewhere to lay it up. You feel the barge jar as it hits something and takes 3 points of damage. At this point, I will let you know that it has about 30 HP.
Okay.
Wow.
Now, Tanya will, after hearing that happen, she'll grab a long unused rope, tie it around her waist, and tie to a post, and then she'll make her way over to where she heard the bang, and she will just hold on and yeah, what?
It sounded like it came from towards the front of the boat. From the bottom of it, you'd have to go underwater or down into the hold to see if you could see it from there.
Okay, yeah, she'll work, work her way down the decks down below to see if she can see any damage.
Okay. Roll a investigation check for me.
Don't fuck me. Oh, god damn it, 12.
Can't see anything, man. Between all the crates and the supplies that you're taking with you for the journey, the cart down in the hold, that you cannot see anything.
I don't see any water sloshing or
No.
anything. No.
No, the hold hasn't, from what you can tell, has not been breached yet, but it has been damaged. Slightly, not a great deal.
Okay. She'll just keep walking around, making sure everything's okay, and if whenever she sees any significant damage anywhere, she'll try to use mending.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything anyone else wants to do there, or?
At this point, Millie lands near the steering wheel of the boat.
Okay.
And Millie lands on the shoulder on what's his name? Sorry.
Golda?
And Millie lands on Golda's shoulder, and you hear Millie go, "Should we pull over? Should we pull over? I can do this now."
Golda.
and then you hear Varys.
Hold up. Golda, you are so focused on this rudder and keeping control of it and trying to get off whatever you've hit. What's your reaction to something suddenly grabbing you with sharp claws on your shoulder?
Ow.
And swinging on you, yeah.
To be quite honest, that's probably about it.
It was at that point. Sorry.
Roll another.
At this point, I am trying to find a place to tie up. You know, I'm not stupid. I'm not just going to carry on.
Roll another proficiency check. Strength plus proficiency.
26.
There's a slight scrape as it slides off whatever it hit. You get a slight grind. You gather that you've successfully navigated it off, found deeper water, and traveling. You hear the hum intensifying from that cannon core as it fights to push forward through the waves and the chop of this river.
Mm-hmm.
The storm is building more and more, but you don't have time to pay attention to it. You are fighting this rudder to maintain course.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to find a tie-up point. So
Greg is at the front of the ship, looking out, spotting the safe course, and yelling directions to you at this point. Vinny?
I'm going to move to the front of the ship, and I'm going to kind of put all my concentration into actually looking for stuff in the water that can harm the ship. And if I spot something, I'm going to mark it with a bright light with prestidigitation.
Okay, roll a proficiency. Roll a perception check for me.
Oops.
That one.
Okay.
And
You
granted,
can't see through the chop of the waves to tell at this point. Roll a perception check for me, Golda, to try to look up for somewhere safe.
9.
The banks are too high. There's nowhere safe. There's rocks. On.
I was going to say, can I have my inspiration, which runs out this round?
Go for it.
Golda.
Go for
Roll that.
Go for it.
All right, then.
Inspiration is yours to roll.
He's on it.
Good
15.
call.
You see, like I said, there's rocks, high banks. In the distance, you see them tapering it down. There's nowhere per se to tie up, but you could beach it onto the banks further down if you wanted, but there'd be nowhere to tie it up and no security.
Yeah. I'd yell out to the captain this information.
We could, but we'd be risking losing the barge.
All right, carry on to the tie-up then.
The storm. And he's going to actually roll a... Doing the same thing Vinny is. Roll another perception check for me, Vinny. And another handling from you. Hold off on the handling for a second. Roll it with a bonus 2 to your thing with Fanny's perception check. She spots several larger rocks and banks. So roll a ship handling check with a +2 bonus.
Nice.
So that'll be a 21. You can do
no,
advantage.
24.
Yep.
I can do advantage.
But
Get better.
yeah,
To a
you manage to find the center of the river, the deepest part. Fanny calls out that there's a rock directly ahead you, and advises going left.
I'd mark it with I can mark it with a
All right.
light.
Yeah, you see the light flare up and steer it to the left, whatever that is. Ship terms. Port. I'm not a sailor by any means. And skirt that dangerous area that she's marked. Greg looks over and goes, "That's mighty useful, lass." I'll get another perception check from anyone that's looking out. Handling check there, Gulda, again.
Mm-hmm.
Same deal, +2.
23.
21 for Millie.
You see these lights flare up as Jadis marks it. Millie circles over another one, and you, on the other side, continue circling, and you gather that she's trying to mark it, and you slide between them like smooth as silk. Greg calls back to you. "You're doing fine, lad. Keep it up."
"I will do."
"Not far to go now." Roll
Righto.
one last perception check and handling check on the ship.
20. I'm getting
Again,
better.
that light flares up.
That would be. Oh, is it with the +2 as well for the handling check?
It's fine, man.
25.
Don't even worry about it.
14 for Millie.
Yep. Slides straight through, and you see a small, sturdy dock appear in the distance. A large sort of building, sturdy construction. And last check for you, handling to get in on the dock there safely with the chop.
That would be 18 plus 2 plus 3, so 23.
Okay, easily enough. It's like you've spent your life on the water.
Yeah, it's funny that.
And just as smoothly as barely even rocks as you come to rest against the dock and quickly tie it up and secure it. Greg comes back to you and goes, "That's some damn fine work there, lad."
Thank you, Captain. Aye, thanks for spotting for me out there. That was good, everybody working together.
Aye, that's how we
I
survive
help by
on the
staying out of the way.
Greg grins and goes, "Aye, that's good work. You got knowing when to shut up and when to pitch in's a valuable trait there."
That certainly is. Right. Okay, everybody. Let's get everything we need to safety.
As you come off the ship, you see several buildings, a large barn-like structure, several smaller buildings. On going into them, inspecting them, you see they're basically bunkhouses for people that need to stay there when the river is like this.
Convenient.
Outside that, Greg goes, "They're here for when we got the harvest and we need to transport it."
Aye, that'll do. Any port in a storm. We best go check on the other boat, Greg.
As you're watching the wave dancer slides into dock, a little bit rougher than what you did.
Hmm. We
Captain
help
comes
tie
up
up.
and goes. He looks at
I-
you, Gulder, and goes, "That's some damn fine sailing, son."
Thank you very kindly, sir.
I
Not
believe
bad
his
yourself.
name was Vernon.
It is.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Not at all
Vernon.
inspired by my uncle, I swear.
Oh, right. Then he came up with the characters' names on these ones, not me.
Yeah, fair.
My uncle Vernon's a fisherman
Right.
Nice.
off the coast of Cornwall, or he was.
Mm.
He's now a
Yeah.
quarryman instead.
Fair
Completely
enough.
switched.
Anyway,
Well, changed as good as a rest.
so what are you guys doing?
Jadis is ushering her troop into the large barn, bedding down. She looks like a fucking drowned rat. She is a thick-furred cat who's just been sat at the prow of a boat, and she is freaking just. If everybody has seen a picture of a wet cat, she looks like she's lost at least 3/4 of her body weight because she's literally.
Tolwyn waddles over with a stool and a big fluffy blanket. Says, "Stay still. There's one thing I know how to handle. It's a wet kitty."
Oh dear. Yeah, I'm helping unload the boat and
Yep.
making sure that they are properly tied up.
Yeah. Basically, you
got the
and
rub down.
Vernon and Greg check the barges 3 times over, make sure that the knots are secure, and to the best of your ability, you actually roll a dexterity check for me.
What's this related to? Is it an acrobatics or is it just
No,
straight
it's just
deck?
straight dexterity.
Right.
You can add your proficiency to it as a sailor. You don't need to.
Oh,
Never
right.
mind.
That's the 22.
Experienced seamen's not. Those boats, the knots aren't going to come undone. The ropes will snap first.
Yeah. Fair. I think it's something that me, Greg, and Vernon will probably take turns, or just all of us go out and check on.
Yeah.
If the storm's not too bad.
Yep.
Yeah. Tanya will check on them every now and then as well. If there's a tear showing on the rope, she'll do a mending spell.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Well, if Tanya, I'd go up to Tanya and just go, right. If you're coming out to check the boats, check with one of us there as well. Always go out in pairs.
Well,
So-
Jadis is stripped off completely because her clothes are slopping wet. She's managed to organise sort of like a fire, food, tea, big pot of stew going.
And at this
Surprised she hasn't used prestidigitation, actually.
at this point, Varys has done some things, like he's gone prestidigitate, cut like some logs in the ceiling to emit light and stuff, and then he went over to the beds and tried to prestidigitate some of them back into better nick.
So you get it all sorted, and it's nothing you haven't done before. There's not going to be any rolls there. You do, Vinny, as a point of reference, knowing that it's not raining yet, you make sure there's plenty of wood brought in for fires before it gets wet.
Mm-hmm.
Colwyn,
Prestidigitation
Yeah.
is good at sort of like a drying off
What are you
clothing,
doing?
but when you've got fur as thick as Vanny's, Jadis's,
Yeah, good
it's
point.
no.
The equivalent of somehow a cat surviving being put in a dry cleaner. Whatchamacallit? Tumble dryer.
What?
Just looks constantly surprised for the next week.
Right. Okay. So, Colin,
But yes,
what are you doing?
having attended to the wet kitty, he is going to. He's not going to head out to the ship, but what he's going to do is try and find a reasonably high point and just sort of survey the landscape, get a better look at the. See if, well, basically what's happening in the storm, in the eye of the storm, etc.
Okay. Roll a perception check for me.
Right, you are. $13.
It is kitty. There's this extremely dark core in the clouds here, the lightning radiating out and like out of it and like pulses. And it is moving directly towards you at this point. It seems.
The shelter
Below-
that we're in.
Hold up.
Sorry.
Below you see the grooms, the drivers bringing the horses off the second ship. The horses as panicking, skittish as they led to the barn enclosure. What were you going to say?
Oh, sorry, I've lost
This structure is it?
Yeah, I was asking. Like the shelter that we're in looks as though it should be able to, at least for a little while, withstand a relatively serious storm.
Oh yeah. It is fairly large. It's a big solid barn basically that you've set up in. From what I gather, is you all went into the barn sort of structure.
Right.
Solid structure. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. And just as a reminder, quickly get a character. Who is our best animal handler?
+1.
+1.
+2.
+0.
So that'll be Vanny then. I think I've got animal handling of no Malleus. So yeah, going to stick my head around. I'm nearly finished, Tristan. Stick my head around the door and basically say to Vania,
Cheers.
thank you. So many names. Relearning.
No.
You could keep an ear out for the livestock. They're a bit skittish, and you're the best one placed to take care of a wild animal.
I will do my best, but they have handlers.
You have what?
They
They've
have
handlers.
Oh
They've
yeah.
got handlers.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, distracted. Go ahead, Tris.
I was going to say we have handlers for horses. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. But Vanny,
The horses are
Jada
brought
said it.
into the barn, and they are skittish. And the drivers and the animal handling teamsters, whatnot, are very skilled at their job, and they do get them into their stable, settle down, bit of a feed, water. The point I was making is just the animals sensing the storm and how bad it was, more than anything there, Colin.
Right. Sorry. Miss the jobby there. Cool.
Golda, we're about to you, mate.
Jadis' question of should I put my clothes back on still stands.
I'll leave it to you.
Still outside with Greg and Vernon, just getting everything sorted, making sure everything's completely shut down.
So, do you think everything's battened down? But I'll get you to do an investigation check for me.
Yeah, boy. No, that wasn't great. 7.
To the best of your knowledge, everything is locked down.
Right. And I turned to Greg and Vernon and just said, what are you doing with the cores? Because, you know, they're valuable. I don't know if you take them off with you.
Greg frowns, troubled. We usually
Considering
don't,
I did speak to him about the
yeah,
dangers of the core.
he looks troubled and he says, I was going to say something. We usually don't, but with what you've said of this chap going around stealing them, I think we'll see if we can disconnect them.
Right. I'm an extra pair of hands.
I was about to say, like having some experience with these cores, Tanya will she will offer to assist.
Yep. So you head to the wave dance with Vernon, who is slightly older than a bit older than Greg and less savvy with that sort of thing. He knows enough to do the maintenance on it, but Greg's a real one that got them up and running and sorted.
Yeah.
So I'll get you to roll a tinkering check for me there.
That's a dexterity plus proficiency bonus.
Mm-hmm.
That's a god damn it! 7, 8, 9, 10.
Slowly, you find the points there, but you can't seem to find several points, but it still doesn't seem to move. You're missing something. Vernon's like, have you checked that? So that'll be a 15 for Greg. He detaches it. He spends a good 15 minutes there with his tools, swearing at the machine, and eventually pulls the core out.
Yay! Success.
It's larger than the one that you had seen in Bastion, and you gave it that this one wasn't a core from a. Well, you never saw the one in Bastion, but for the group in general, it's larger than a. You gather it wasn't from a Warforged.
All right, but it's the same type of core, just larger.
It is.
It looks ancient from the the ancient times.
None of them look ancient. They look in really good nick. But yes, it is from the pre-fall.
Yeah, the pre-fall.
Tanya, I need another tinkering check from you, please.
Mm-hmm.
DC's getting harder.
Oh dear.
11, 12, 13, 14. 14, damn it.
I want you to roll a dexterity saving throw for me.
13.
You take 12 points of arcane damage as something you do or touch in there causes the core to pulse arcane energy straight up the tool and through your body.
Ouch.
Woof.
That stings. How big is this core, roughly? How big compared to, like...
About twice the size of what was in Bastion.
Okay. She kind of looks to
Vernon.
to Vernon and asks, like, so what do you want to do with these? Because we do know that someone's after cores like these. We could put them in my bag of holding.
As you're saying this, one last dexterity check, because I'm assuming you still Sorry, tinkering check, because I'm assuming you're still going at it while you're talking to him, are you?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yep. Okay.
I'm scared to push the button now.
We're all scared for you. Oh, for God's sake.
Oh,
The 6
damn.
plus 3.
Another dexterity save for me. You feel it on this last bolt that you've been missing, but as you're unscrewing it, you again seem to bump whatever it was that you hit before.
19 dex save.
You hear the sparking and the hissing as it touches, and you just flat out drop your tool and hear the clatter as it drops to the base of the compartment. But you have managed to loosen that last screw. And with a little bit of wriggling, you get your arm in and loosen it with your fingers and manage to pull the core free.
Well, there we go. So, what do you want to do with it?
So note, Nord, until you recover that tool,
Mm-hmm.
you're not adding your proficiency from your Tinker's tools.
Where is it? Where did it fall down into?
It's fallen down under where the core was, into that compartment somewhere.
Okay, well, that's not an issue.
Yeah. It's just a note.
No, I've got ways around that.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. Anyway, Vernon goes, we'll talk to Greg. He's a real brains about these.
Okay.
In reference to your question about the bag of holding,
Yeah.
Greg comes onto the deck, core in hands. I was just coming to see if you needed a hand there, lass. You seem to be struggling a bit. I saw that flash of arcane energy. Oof, those shocks.
Oh, I got a bit of rain in my eye, and I couldn't see properly, and the wind, everything. You know how it is. I mean, we're doing.
He looks at you, looks up at the sky, and goes, "The rain hasn't started yet."
Well, sprays from the river.
As he's saying that, the rain starts to come down lightly at first, big, fat, heavy drops, but not frequent. Just a
Right,
big,
time
heavy
to shut
drop
up
here,
shop
there.
and get to the barn. Come on.
As you run towards the barn, the storm breaks, and you can barely see the distance. I need everyone that's outside to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Everyone. Oh,
That's you and Gelda.
okay.
17.
Mm-hmm.
20.
Nice.
Let me check.
Gelda.
Mm-hmm.
Is Millie outside?
Probably.
Roll a dex saving throw for her. Actually, with a disadvantage because of her small size, battling rain and very heavy winds. Was she flying?
Probably.
I thought she was still clumped onto my shoulder for some reason.
Dexterity saving throw is just a dex, right?
With disadvantage, yeah. It should be a saving throw up on the left side there.
Small for
It's the small box up
challenge.
top left.
It's Millie has her own character.
Oh, dude, yeah, shit,
Millie.
sorry. Yeah,
So it's dexterity, just the +2 from dexterity.
yeah, just the +2 from a dex.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Oh, not too bad.
You are lucky she is fine. It was a very high DC for that.
I'm guessing Millie has the intelligence to come inside now.
Yeah, she started inside before it even started. You had the intelligence to see it coming in, and you got her out of there. Gulda, solid, stocky. You just put the head down, legs pumping,
Mm-hmm.
and push your way through the storm. Tanya hunching over, running through the storm, kind of blocking it, turning away so the rain isn't into your face as it's going almost sideways from the force of this wind. Make it to the door.
I'm making sure that
Greg,
Vernon also make it.
Greg and Vernon are nowhere to be seen when you turn around through the thick rain, heavy rain.
I'd like to point out that I'm holding the artifact though. So
That's fine.
Mm.
Greg had
You've
the other
got one
one.
of them. Greg's got the other one.
They are
Wouldn't that act
nowhere
as
to
a
be
lightning
seen.
rod?
Quite.
Good work. Thank you. But
I'm
no.
already hurt. Damn it, Ed.
But no, it wouldn't, because otherwise you'd sort of have lightning struck Warforged everywhere back in the day.
Yeah.
That would explain why they never really caught on. Just get a storm wizard to turn up. Just thinking,
You wait, Golda, looking at Tanya at the door within the shelter. They are still nowhere to be seen.
I am calling out.
There
Not
is
that that's
no
gonna do much
answer.
good, but right.
After a moment, you see a large shape pushing through the rain. And Greg stumbles in, goes, "Damn me! I slipped in a puddle." Looks around, goes, "Where's Vernon?"
We don't know. Get the core safe. We'll go look for him if we need to.
He takes it in, puts it down on the ground, and starts heading back out.
Tanya, look
With
after
that hesitation, Greg
I go with
pauses and goes, "Get us a rope, lad. We'll tie it to us."
I pull out a rope out of my pack and tie it around us.
And back into the thing. I need you
Yep.
to roll a perception check with disadvantage.
Anya puts both cores in her bag of holding for now.
Roll an Arcana.
22.
15,
fine.
Ash.
Disadvantage, mate.
I did.
Oh, right. Okay. It's only showing the one there. Righto.
Yeah.
Can't see through that heavy driving rain. Calling out.
We sort of retracing our
faintly,
steps, basically.
faintly hear a response
Head towards it.
in the distance. As you move towards it, you see a faint light.
Bit weird.
Roll a dexterity saving throw for me.
11.
You're going to take a... That is not good. That's a crit. You'll take 14 points of lightning damage as a bolt strikes down right at your feet and throws you to the ground.
Ow. Gets back up again. Carries on.
The faint glow is just growing now in the distance.
Oh, the glow, which is like centered from the storm?
No. Roll a perception check for me there. Hold on. Tanya, if you're still at the door, you can as well.
I'm sending a quick prayer to Lython.
He just said hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2.
Really?
Yeah, no, that was...
Perception, wasn't it? Right.
Yep.
That's a 17.
You make a dark figure. These lights seem to be moving around it.
Mhm.
Faint blue light.
Oh dear.
And you push forward into a pocket of calm within the storm to see a cloaked figure. Arcane orbs, cannon cores, glowing faint with blue arcane energy, rotating around it as it floats off the ground.
And who might you be?
You have something that belongs to me.
And you are? At least have the manners to introduce yourself, fella.
You may call me Denovan.
Denovan. It's an old name, I think.
More than you can know. You have something of mine and you will return it, or I will take the life of everyone here.
Really?
He lifts a hand. The orb starts rolling quicker. Roll a dexterity save for me.
Just a 12.
Feel a massive weight slam you face down on the ground as you suddenly your entire body feels massively heavier, as if gravity itself is pressing you into the ground. Really.
I send out an even more fervent prayer to Lighten and ask for protection for us all.
Roll a d20 with disadvantage.
A d20 with disadvantage. If I can do that.
Just two
Yeah,
d20s.
Just
but
two
that's fine.
2d20s.
And take the
Oh,
lower one.
right. Bloody thing. There we go. Well, the lowest one was 4.
He looks at you and goes, "The guards aren't listening. They have their own issues."
Please hold the line. Your prayer is important to us.
Greg
Thank you very
groans. By your side, Greg groans as he is pressed into the ground by that same weight that is holding you there. Again, the orbs spin faster, and there's a flash of arcane light. And he is just gone, and you are face down in the driving rain. Tenya,
Mm-hmm.
make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, nope. 7.
You see a dark figure, cloaked, heavily obscured, appear in front of you. Your body locks up, held in place as these arcanum cores circle around them, feet floating off the ground. He reaches out, takes your bag of holding. I want everyone in that room to make a wisdom saving throw. As those orbs spin faster.
9.
Oh, sorry. I assume that would include.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hang on.
As a note, Calder, you are free from that weight that was pressing you down at this point.
Okay. With a man to find.
Doing one for Steel Defender here.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. 3 plus 3. No.
There is a moment where there is a flash, and suddenly there was someone there, or at least you think there was. You can't. It's vague. Looking down, you notice that your bag of holding is gone, but you struggle to remember what happened.
Wait, did he take the entire bag of holding?
Mm-hmm.
You fucking kidding me? That had our
Golda.
party funds.
Golda. As you're running in, you see a dark figure outside that with those lights spinning around it. He drops something to the ground as 2 orbs float up to join those spinning around him.
Mm-hmm.
Looks at you, smiles, disappears.
I run forward to figure out what he's dropped.
You see a plain bag that you recognize on the ground.
I grab it, and then we go and try and find Vern.
Going back there to where he was, that calm bubble, you see. It's not hard to backtrack. You ran back. You find Greg has found him where you encountered that individual.
Yeah.
Helping to bring Vernon in. Dazed. He's obviously hit his head or something has happened. His eyes are glazed as he
Healer!
is brought into the safety of the structure of the barn.
Varys, you about?
I'm at the sound of healer. I'm already running towards him.
Okay. Roll a medical on me for me.
Quick question.
Yes, I do.
Did you say that I couldn't remember what happened to the bag?
None of you can remember what happened. The only one that wasn't affected would have been Gulda and the 2 barge owners.
About did we get I couldn't remember having a saving throw for the memory thing.
That was the wisdom saving throw everybody rolled.
I didn't roll that for me. I thought that was another whole person thing. So I because you said everyone inside the room. I thought it was for my steel defender.
No. Roll your wisdom.
Okay, yeah, never mind. 6.
You failed. Right.
It's a pretty high DC anyway, man.
Yeah.
I go over to Tanya and just go, here you go, lassie, and hold out the bag. I think you'll find that those cores for the boats have buggered off.
She
He definitely pulled them out.
Well, had Golder checked if they were in there yet?
Golda saw them flying out.
Oh, okay.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. I kind of suspected that's kind of why I wanted to bring them in.
Right, everybody gather round. The person we're up against, this gentleman that keeps stealing Arcanum cores, well, he obviously believes that they're his. He said his name was Denovan. I don't know if that means anything to anybody. In fact, I'm going to look into my memory too to see if I know somebody called Denovan.
Can I do a history check?
History check, yeah. Advantage for anyone that's from Earl's Bay.
Oh, right.
Ooh. History.
6 on the medical, 20 on the history.
He seems to have hit his
21 history check.
Tanya and Jadis, you just look at each other and go, he wouldn't be Lord Denovan Bay.
Could be.
Oh, yeah.
Hang on.
Daddy's
Did he not invent
home.
the war? Did he not invent the Warforged?
Not invent them, but was the commanding officer for the expeditionary force that settled, that brought humanity literally to Earthus.
I see.
But He should be dead. It's been.
I know. Don't ask me how, because I've no idea. But when I asked him his name, he said I could call him Donovan. I think it might be him. Would make sense that he'd cover up his face after all this time.
It would not make sense for him to do harm to so many people for this.
From your history check, he was a very kind and respected leader. Tenure and Jadis, from history lessons, he was pretty
Unless,
much.
of course, it is him, just not as he was.
Tainted by evil.
Something.
Possibly.
You were going to say, Ashley?
No, you guys go.
Okay.
I
There
don't
is
know.
too little information for speculation on this, but my first instinct is it is not him.
Hey, Rogue.
I tend to agree. I mean, it can't be him, and if it is him, it's not him in his own right mind.
You might have a point there.
I need books.
Aye, I think we need to definitely do some research when we get to Dune City.
We need to give this information to cartographers.
Aye,
Yes, I need to speak to Gertie.
yeah, agreed.
We ain't doing
All
it
of
in the
them.
storm.
And I guess we're. I think we might be traveling with the caravan from here on out. I don't think we're going to get these barges moving anytime soon upstream.
You have a very good point there.
Greg's and Vernon are just kind of sitting to one side. They're quiet, kind of stunned. And they look up at this and go, hey, we're going to have to go back to the old ways. This will ruin our reputation.
Well, there's not a lot you can do about it, but if you need our help to get yourself up and running, let us know. We'll see what we can do.
I was going to suggest that we call a brief break here while
Benny's sorting
things
the
are done.
gas men out.
No, wait, did he come early?
No, that was the shopping.
Okay, yeah.
Asda or whatever it was.
So back on the hour?
Back on the hour.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
All right, guys, we'll see you in about 23 minutes at 10, which is 10 p.m. for anyone in Brisbane, or whatever time it is wherever
Midday.
you are.
Midday or...
Three.
Hello. We are back. Recharged, ready to go. Vinny no longer has gas or has gas, one of the two. My sympathies.
Thank God we're not in the same room.
Anyway, enough jokes. No, there's never enough jokes. Who am I kidding? So as you're discussing the potential identity of this person, there is an almost thunderous crash and the building shakes. At first you think it's lightning, but you see a wall partially splintered. Can't see through it, but something or someone has been slammed into that wall at immense forces.
And out I go to check on it.
Yeah.
You see that figure.
Same.
You see that figure, orbs hanging in the air, no longer rotating, no longer barely floating, held aloft by a massively imposing figure. They're tall, but not as you've seen tall. The Minotaur are taller, but the width and the just pure solidity of this being far outstrips the Minotaur. Broad shoulders, massive arms, legs, broad, powerful chest as it pins this being against the chest and plucks it to the orb out of there. Goes, these are not for you. You've taken enough. You don't need them. And then tosses him away. And with a single word, dismisses him. Be gone.
Wait, this
I might
being
have to
did
be on
this
my
to
knees in a
Donovan?
second now.
I am
Wait,
confused. No.
Yeah, hang on. This big thing we saw pinned Donovan and tossed him aside?
Yup.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
You
I'm
see
sort of
the
on my
wall
knees at
behind
this point.
splintered, where he was slammed into it with sheer force. In the driving rain, you realise that that pocket that was there with Donovan is still there, but it's around this being as well now. As Donovan is tossed aside into the storm and vanishes due to the driving rain. This figure turns to you, and you see a hint. It's covered hands, face, but around the eyes, so it can see. You see. Roll a perception check, actually, for everyone there.
Okay.
I was just going to
Perception.
say, Colwyn is basically passed out in the corner because he was so zapped by the thing.
Fair enough.
11.
Jadis, Varus. Around the eyes where it can't be covered for this being to see, you see a hint of red skin and a massive bulk. You gather that they're not human. You're not sure what this being is. It turns to you, goes, I believe these belong to you, and tosses the orbs towards the group.
Thank you, sir. Can we know your name?
It would be only polite for me to introduce myself, wouldn't it?
Thank you, sir.
You may call me Ku. I'm a simple orc wandering these lands out of curiosity.
Galder, sailor and dwarf. Pleased to meet you, sir.
The pleasure is mine, good dwarf. May I come in?
Of course. Please do.
I don't mean to sound disrespectful, but he may have stolen more than those two off friends of ours.
Looks around.
But if he's gone, we understand. But
if I had known, I would have retrieved them.
we understand. But we understand, and we do thank you for what you have done.
I
It was
pick
my
up one
pleasure.
of the orbs and throw the other one to Tanya. And we go back inside and make Greg and Vernon's day.
It immediately goes into her bag of holding, the one that she receives, and she, as they're walking inside, she's like walking after the orc, and she's like standing behind, like doing like a slight measuring the width of the orc, the width of the door.
He turns sideways to fit through it.
To be fair, we are in a barn, so there is large doors.
Yeah, but have you got the main doors open, or have you got a person door open?
No,
there is a storm.
Jada, thankfully, isn't as wet as she was when she was on the thing, so she is just going to do a prestidigitation. She's going to see Colwyn and just sort of like a sigh and just sort of like a slink away cat-like, so that she's basically just kind of curled around him, tail wrapped around, and just sort of like all you can see of him now is a hand. And she's just going to go.
I am being slept on.
You're obviously comfy.
He now has a fur blanket. Be jealous.
Very good.
I have a mini hot water bottle.
The
Look at
orc
Yeah.
goes down and might I share your meal and your fire, good dwarf?
That's all right by me. That's the least we can do for your help, sir.
It was my pleasure. I do not abide thieves.
Good thing I'm hidden then.
Mm. And I go over to Greg and just go, look what gentleman's got back for us.
He turns, looks at you, looks at him, and jaw drops and goes, and he kind of goes very pale. He goes, I haven't seen one of. I. Thank you, sir.
I
Well,
pass Greg one of the orbs and just go,
who's there
Tanya's
at this
got
point?
the other one.
Who's there at this point? Is Golda, Tanya's there? Whereabouts are you, Varus?
I've walked inside as well, I guess.
So you're there with them. What's your passive perception?
13.
three of you.
My passive perception?
All three years.
14.
13.
Mm-hmm. Tanya?
14, and my steel defender is 15.
Still defender doesn't matter in this.
Okay.
The 2 with 14, you see the orc give a very slight shake of his head. And that's when whatever Greg was going to say, he changes and he addresses him as Sir, as if he doesn't know this person. But you saw him go pale and his eyes widen, almost in recognition originally.
Oh.
Something to talk to Greg about. And the orcs maybe not there.
Yes.
Well, let us be polite to the gentleman.
Tanya
Go
kind
over,
of leans.
sit down, and well, the way you handled that, laddie, I'm most impressed.
And Vera says, if you'll excuse me, I still need to make sure everyone is okay from what happened before.
Of course. Are you all right,
Dronin,
sir? Do you need any healing or anything?
I am fine. His tricks have
Excellent.
no place or power.
Wow. Are you a bit mage-proof?
That's one way to put it, I guess.
It'll do for me. So, where have you been travelling, good sir?
Currently, everywhere. I'm seeking my lost brother.
Oh.
My older brother was lost many years ago.
Oh dear.
And we don't know where.
Well, does he look a little like yourself?
Large as I am. Sharper
Right.
tongue as well. Witty
Often the
sort.
case.
Charming.
Right. I'm just thinking that we can definitely keep an eye out for him. Tell him that you're looking.
If that would be appreciated, though. My sister and I have been searching for many years. We do
I
know
see.
that he was last seen on this continent.
Right.
And I'm just glad I was returning towards the east to my home
Hmm.
to be able to aid you in this matter.
We're very grateful to you, sir. I don't think we could have handled him by ourselves well at all, actually.
Well, he's a bit older. But,
Is he actually? And I hate to ask this and press you, but we could do as much knowledge as we can. We intend to pass on everything we know to the cartographers when we see them next in Dune City. Is he really Earl Denovan B?
he looks at you, raises an eyebrow, leans forward, checks the kettle on the fire there, pours himself a cup of coffee, a cave, takes a sip. And he was known by that name a long time ago.
Oh. Because when I asked him his name, he said it was Denovan.
Hey, that was the name he was born with. He was such a promising young man at the time, too.
Good grief. Ye- This might seem very rude, but how old are you?
That is not something you need to know.
Okay. If you know him, then it's been a fair while, and we'll leave it at that, shall we?
My people are long lived.
No kidding. I thought we did all right as dwarves, but wow.
Yeah. I'm guessing. And if Varys hears this, Varys is going to say, "Thank God I'm not the oldest in the room." Now,
He looks at you, smiles. Hey, we were the first race,
Wow.
first civilization. This was our home. And one by one, others came. Some native to the land, some travelers. But we welcomed all with offers of friendship. He's got a faraway look in his eyes. But there are things that are past, and past is a past and cannot be changed.
True.
Tanya kind
So,
of looks
do you
at
know what
him.
this?
Okay, never mind.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry, no, go on.
Tanya kind of looks at him and like, you wouldn't happen to have any tomes or scrolls from back in the old days that would have information that could help us, or yourself have information that could help us, perhaps?
Unfortunately, I followed the path of war, the path of the hunt. I am not the one that you would seek for this knowledge.
Mm. And you don't know about any place we could search either for this kind of information?
Say search ask an elder, but I do not believe that is your way. Maybe I believe you have scriptoriums, libraries, Atheniums in Els Bay, in Solsgard. They might have information. I would
Perhaps we
suggest
could ask the Mages Guild, for example, and ask them to research it for us.
possibly. Yeah. Other options are the nation of Saise, the Dragonborn, but they lost so much during the fall. Almost everything. Honestly, the one least affected by the fall might be the island nation to the east of. Give me a second. I gotta remember the name. What's this? Kameru and Show. which you would know as one of the nations that dwarves occasionally conduct piracy on, acquiring of illicit goods.
Yeah, acquiring of interesting things. Yeah.
For the record, can I get the spelling of that of the?
I'll send it through to you.
Yeah, if you could send me it as well.
I'll put it in the
I have heard of
link
it.
breakdown.
I'm not sure the Storm's Regret would have gone that far, but
It's to the east of Sicey and south of Earlsprung, which is where the orcs are native to.
right. Well, interesting. I don't think they'll be particularly friendly towards dwarfs, unfortunately.
He raised an eyebrow, smiles. Well, that is your own fault there, sir.
Oh, absolutely. Not that I've involved myself in going that far, but I know some have. So I'm gonna guess that they'd be less than friendly.
He looks at you, goes, "It's odd to see one of you so far from the sea."
Aye, well, storm tipped me off my ship. I had to make my way back up, and I still am. I was on a ship called the Storm's Regret, and
From the
aye,
Darkfist clan.
the Dark Fist. Aye, that's correct, sir.
A fine
I was-
ship. A fine ship.
I was the bosun, father and uncle, the captain and first mate. But this storm just hit us, and I just got tipped off. Bit unusual for me, but you know, it was a bit of a thing. Thankfully, the elves helped me out and got me back up here. I'm still making my way, and I still need to find out what happened to the ship. I just hope she's all right.
If I hear anything, I will try to send word. But the
That's
weather
very
is.
kind of you, sir.
There will be
Aye.
more storms, so there are things failing that should not be failing.
Oh dear. Is it because of this creature Denovan, or is it other things that are afoot? I hate to ask this question.
It kind of is. It is kind of related to him. He is the one that. After the fall,
Aye.
rifts were ripped open by the force of the arcane torrent of Aether that was released before the gods bound the veil themselves to the veil. Denovan took it upon himself to seal these, not seal them, but ward them and guard them with facilities through arcana craft, but art of the humans that they brought with them from the west. They, to what my knowledge, they should not be failing, which leads me to believe that something is tainting the power that holds them there, or I believe that they were keyboarded to guardians into a object of opposing element. So, say a portal to the plane of fire would be bound to a creature of ice,
Right. I get
or
you.
water to earth, earth
Aye.
to water.
I get you. Aye. So it could be that Denovan is not the bad guy. He's just trying to strengthen all the wards to protect us all.
I don't know if that one. He's certainly something.
I'm just wondering if we should help him or stop him, really.
I leave that to your discretion. The means don't always justify the ends, so.
Well, aye.
And if he was going to do something about it, I believe he would have already acted upon it. To
Mm,
my knowledge, he was present recently near one of the portals and did nothing. And
right.
to my understanding, that the wards that he had there have failed, or in the process of failing.
Hmm. If he is intimately tied to these ward thingings, would that mean that he himself has become corrupted by whatever's doing this thing?
It is beyond me. I am not a mage.
No, neither am I. It's all a bit hurting my head at the minute.
I mean,
Oh, is it?
as far as his intentions are going, I mean, if his intentions were good-hearted, I think he would ask instead of attack. Don't you think?
I imagine so. But maybe he believes that humankind is fallen, that people are primitive and have no ability to assist him. And to an extent, they are different. You are different to what you were years ago, to what he knows. As you've seen, his power is quite real and quite different to what you might have experienced previously.
Aye, well, none of us are that old to remember him before anyway. He's a figure from a long time ago for us.
Well, I will say he has only gotten stronger over the years.
Right.
How many years ago was this? Just out of curiosity.
How many years ago was what?
Earl Donovan and the Phoenix Fall.
2,000 years.
All right, so there would be no elves that really knew or spoke from. All right.
There wouldn't even be any elves alive that would remember him.
Just because I know elves are really old, and I may have heard
They
something from
don't
Eric,
live
but
that long.
Not that old.
yeah,
What, they're
not
about
that old.
700-800 years or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Right.
So several generations, basically, for the elves. You know.
They'd know who he was, but nobody would know him.
Yeah, no, just asking.
As he's holding that mug, he lowers his hood, takes the mask off, and Zip's face, his skin is red.
Mm-hmm.
He quietly drinks a cave, looks at you, waiting. So, shall we share a meal? If not, I will get some sleep.
Alright. I get up and sort him some food.
He tucks into it gratefully,
Plenty of it.
with gusto, leans back, appreciative once he's finished. Fine meal. I appreciate your hospitality.
You're more than welcome for your help, sir.
I do not believe he will return for those calls.
If I may ask, I'm not sure if you already said, but towards what direction are you traveling from here on?
East.
East. Would that coincide with our route as well?
Partially. He's not being specific. You are heading east-northeast along the river. I mean,
Well, I'm sure we can work something out if you'd like a lift on the barge with us.
I've spent many years wandering. I enjoy sailing. I enjoy walking. I'm fine with fever.
Well, we're headed northeast. If you want to tag along with us in a barge, you're more than welcome. And I'd say
believe-
from the display you've shown this evening, the welcome would be very welcome.
I might travel away with you. I'll sleep on it.
Ah,
Very
thank
well.
you, sir.
He listens to the storm outside. I believe this will rain itself out by the morning.
Just in case, before you go to bed, hey, pup, go outside and have a look. Just stay there and let us know if anything unusual happens. The steel defender kind of like mechanically wags happily and then exits.
Okay, not a problem. It goes out in the rain. The orc coup stands up, travels to a corner, lies down on the ground, head resting on an arm. You see for the first time as he turns away from you, you see a massive wooden sword on his back, sharp tooth around the edges of it. What's the name of it? One of those. It's basically pre-metal sword, basically wood with teeth or shark's teeth or claws or whatever they put on it.
Onyx. Yeah.
Onyx,
Obsidians.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's a massive thing.
Wooden sword with obsidian teeth.
Basically.
That reminds me of one of those like the visually in my head. I imagine like the great sword, the boned great sword thing from Monster Hunter World.
Pretty much, a little bit.
Yeah.
It
Alright.
seems like a primitive sort of weapon.
Oh, all right. Apparently, the name is
Mahakal.
yeah, I can't pronounce.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't remember I didn't remember the name of it, but I couldn't. I was going to find an image for you, but
Yeah. MACAUAHUL.
there we go.
Yeah.
In chat, out of character chat,
Oh yeah, I know.
basically. A Malakal.
Yeah, the
Right, yeah.
Yes, very Aztec.
pre-Columbian jobby from
Yeah.
the Americas.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to sting a bit if somebody hits you with it.
Well, you'd hope so.
Mm.
Right, I suggest we all get a bit of kip in that case, but I suggest we keep a watch anyway.
Well, I have my pup outside.
That's true.
In the corner, the orc opens his eyes and goes, I believe you can rest fairly safe. I'll
Thank you,
keep
sir.
an ear out.
Good night to you.
Closes his eyes. Sleep well.
I will.
And
Alright. Pull out some medicinal ale from somewhere and drink it. he's trying and figure all of this out. And he's struggling.
You can roll a history check with disadvantage if you want.
I may as well.
Very high DC though.
No. Just no.
I can tell you now that Venny, out of character, probably knows who this is, but she's a good
She's
girl
asleep.
and is not going to say anything. Yeah. I said out of character.
Out of character. Yes.
Venny, not Jadis.
Benny. Yes.
Yeah, I think bed's down for the night.
Before everyone goes to bed, I'm gonna do the rounds, make sure everyone's okay and not gonna die in the night, like triage them, etc.
No, I'm not going to die in the night. I just need a good night's rest. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, but I go around everyone, including like Vernon and what have you.
Roll a perception check for me. Investigation check, sorry.
That's it.
As you check them visually.
21.
As you're going around, you see that the trail of blood that you cleaned up when you did your medical on Vernon, he seems to be sleeping soundly, though you suspect he probably has a concussion. Golder's beard is still smoking slightly from where he got struck by lightning.
I used prestidigitation to put it out.
Oh, I forgot about that. Thank you.
Wait, you can sense the fumes.
Huh?
Right.
What
It's been a day.
Yarp.
Probably
I'm
getting
fine,
high
thank you. I'm fine, thank you, Susan.
from every sort of small particles hidden in that beard smoking. The fumes probably got him high in some way or form.
And the other thing I do is I talk to Tanya before she goes to bed. Say, hey, our orc friend kind of bashed someone against that wall. Can you double check the barn's not gonna fall down in the middle of the night before you go to bed, please?
Right. Looks over, heads over to where the wall cracked a bit, and just does
Investigation on it.
a few. Okay.
It's not hard to see.
Well, I don't see anything.
You do.
Natural
Even
one.
if it wasn't a high DC man, the wall is almost splintered completely in. He has smashed him into this massively solid wall, hard enough to almost push him through it.
All right. In that case, I'll spend a few minutes casting a few mending spells to like brighten this up, making sure it won't collapse during the night.
You sit there and you spend an hour trying to get it to right, and you do shore it up, but it's not perfect. It's going to take more than a mending, but you do result in a feeling secure, more secure with it.
Yeah. After an hour, she'd be like, "Yep, that's about that's
It's
about everything."
It's about as good as she's going to get it with mending. Night passes. Varus. As you fall into darkness, you feel the dream take you.
Very fun.
Do you want to do this without by yourself, or are you happy for everyone to hear the?
Happy for everyone to hear it. I trust them not to.
Yeah,
That's a game.
cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so soft, warm energy envelopes you. As it does, you feel a fire, a presence of almost raging fire in the distance. You can't see it, but it's like a primal force present nearby as his dream envelopes you in its soft warmth. You are safe, my champion.
Yes.
You walk dangerous paths and are surrounded by dangerous enemies, it seems.
It seems to be my fate.
Sorry?
This seems to be my fate.
Fate is what you make of it. There is no such thing. You choose your path, and your determination will carry you forward.
I'm determined to, at least for now, do right by my family. So, what happens in the next couple of weeks will determine what happens after that. Although this is life, we experience events and then we react, and then we experience more events.
As long as you keep your promise, I need you to travel east when you can. And you see, rushing through across the landscape as you are pushed forward away to the north, you see Dune City. You see Dragon Watch, and then you are thrust eastwards towards a rising sun over the desert, over this city. You see an image of grand buildings, tall dragonborn striding through the streets, working fields, and then your vision turns southward, and you see a darkness. This warmth, gentle, grows in pressure and heat and force. Things are apace and the voice is harder, and you fall into darkness. And it's like that dream where you wake up just before you hit the ground. Startle awake, arms and legs going out to catch yourself. You find kneeling over you a large shape, a gentle voice going, "Easy now, lad."
Am I still in the dream state, or?
You're awake. As I said, you start awake.
Alright.
It's like those dreams where you start awake as from the impression of fall, and you know how you throw your arms and legs out as you're waking up to catch yourself,
Yeah.
even though you're not. It's that.
Yeah. Oh, whoa! Hello?
Easy now.
Who is the person standing over me? Do I recognize them?
Oh, from the bulk, could it only be Ku?
Oh, hey, I had a dream.
I am aware. I heard you talking in your sleep.
Didn't know I do that.
It takes a special ear to hear it.
Two, you know much about the lands to the east, yes?
I know much of the lands everywhere.
What lies south of the Dragonborn city?
Which part of south? You've got the lands of the Frykreen, the Hives. You've got the Forest of Bones. Which do you refer to?
I sense a darkness somewhere to the south of. I saw an elaborate city with Dragonborn to the east, and then I
That would
started
be the
going
king,
south.
the Empire of Sase.
Yes, but then I went south and I sensed, I don't know, darkness there.
Depends on what part south you went. Like I said, south is either the Fried Green on the Cape or the Forest of Bones. Given your race and your nature, I'd assume the forest. You are a forest people after all, are you not?
Yes. Sorry, the fried cream or
The Fried Green. They're an insectoid race. Hive, think bees or ants, they're not that nature-wise, cultural-wise, but also think locust as well. In some situations, that there's more there, but you wouldn't know that about them.
or bone.
The Forest of Bones.
My sponsor is, I believe, my sponsor to be ancient and linked somewhat to the forest. So,
Aye. Celestial in nature, but tied to the Fae.
you are very wise indeed.
Hardly. If I was wise, I'd be able to find my brother. I'm just old. So very, very old. So very tired. I was not sure if it was a welcome traveling or dream that you had. And I was unsure if I should intervene or not, or if I could. I'm glad to see you're well, and it seems in a situation of your choosing.
Yes.
This situation of yours intrigues me. I'll talk to you as we travel. I believe I will take up your offer to travel with you. Anyway, I bid you good night. Dream well.
Yes.
Turns away, returns to his corner.
As this Varus tries to get back to a meditative state, he ends up almost he beckons Millie over and almost like hugs Millie like a teddy bear, as much as you do.
Yeah. Not a problem.
Or like he leans against the wall with Millie in his, and with like Millie in his, with like Millie in his lap, and like he's like got his hand on Millie, and Millie's like not purring, but maybe cooing a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Not a problem. And eventually you return to sleep. And the night passes. And you wake up. Unmolested, safe. At your call, Tanya, a soaking wet, water glistening on its steel chassis. Steel defender comes in, wriggling, happy.
Ah, good boy. Did you see anything out there?
Off.
Ah, that's a good boy.
Are we all sort of waking up at this point? Huh?
Yeah. I assume that you're generally an early riser.
So that's long rest for everybody.
Long rest for everybody.
Thank you. Back to
Here
max
you
hit
go.
points.
Yeah, same here.
He got
did
slammed by that lightning bolt.
no, not lightning bolt.
Well,
I
a
got
bit.
I got
No,
a,
the dwarf.
Oh yeah,
Golda.
I got
I-
14
got it.
points of damage.
You both
It
got
didn't do
fairly
that much, but
smashed.
I got 14 points of damage. It singed my beard. I'm annoyed.
I got zapped by an ancient artifact.
Nah.
It's because you're playing with things you don't fully understand.
Well, I think I understand these things fairly better than most others in this party, except maybe
Oh
Drew.
yeah, yeah. You'd be surprised. It's outside of his field of expertise. It's not something that's of interest to him.
Mm.
Maybe a different orc, maybe, but not for him. And as he said, he follows the path of the hunter and the warrior.
Oh yeah, I might be the most knowledgeable about these things.
But quite potentially.
Also, her tinkering curiosity gets the better of her.
Yep. We know.
As you rise, you hear that the rain is still present, but much lighter and slowly fading into a light shower now. Standing in the door, you see a large figure blocking the light.
Good morning, Kirk.
Good morning, good Master Darkfist.
Oh, you don't have to call me that. It's Golda.
Good morning, then, Golda.
Thank you.
In his hand is a
Greg,
couple of
Vernon, you're
cards.
awake. I'm trying to wake up the ship's captains.
They come to groggily. Vernon, did you do anything healing-wise there, Chris? Gareth?
I asked if anyone needed any healing, and you said everyone will
You
live.
rolled a very low medicine check, though, I believe.
Yeah. But if no one really needed anything, I probably didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Although you did say he had a concussion, so I probably would have
Okay, so you did do something there.
checked from time to time,
Yep,
and maybe got
that's
someone who was staying up to keep an eye on and wake me if
okay.
Vernon does.
Yep,
I would have liked to said, if he does
You
this,
would've-
this, wake me up immediately.
yep. So so you did do something there. That's fine.
Yeah, because he said he may
was
have a
on-
concussion, so I would have.
It was only on the last check, basically after he was asleep too. So you've kept an eye on him through the night. Had someone else keep an eye on him as well.
Yeah.
So that's fine. He wakes up a little groggy. Because, I mean, if you hadn't have said that things were going to be dire.
Yeah, I'll go over and nudge Tanya as well, because I know she's got the other core.
Yeah, I'll get this installed.
Yeah, okay. Greg, Vernon, let's get this show starting to get on the road. Let's get the cores back in there. Thankfully,
Okay.
we've got them back. Thanks to the gentleman here. And come on, let's get started.
As I move to go over and move to install the core on one of the barges, do I see my tinker's tools easily accessible down in this?
Make a. Have you got a light source with you?
That could easily be done. I do hang on. I don't have a prepared cantrip for light source. I do have a torch though.
Okay.
So, yeah,
How are you going to get that going in the rain?
Have you got dark vision?
yes, I do.
Okay, so you see around looking through the grayscale of dark vision, and you do eventually locate it and retrieve it. It's not hard. It's just, like I said, dark vision's basically a grayscale.
Mm-hmm.
Well, only in complete darkness. In dim light, it's normal.
It's pretty dark out here.
Okay.
With first thing in the morning.
First thing in the morning, and it's still raining.
Right.
Ed, which one of us do you reckon wakes up first?
I think it would be appropriate if you kind of woke up just accidentally
Roll a
battered
dice.
my face.
I want to see what happens here.
Roll a fanny.
Oh, what am I rolling?
Just a D20
Yeah.
D20.
is generally for a roll
No,
off.
I want to see what happens if Ed wakes up first.
9.
He did wake up first.
It's entirely
Yeah,
up to them. It's like
Yeah,
that
he's
anyway.
he's had some very weird dreams. Just waking up and going, oh, morning, kitty. Awkward pets.
This was nice sleep. Did you sleep good?
Thank you, Rogue.
It sort of like kind of stretches out, kind of full body length, kind of. And you're just sort of like kind of
as you
lying on
do.
your front, sort of like kind of face resting on her breast, kind of thing. I have a furry pillow.
Yes, she is. I've got to say, it was most agreeable. Oh,
Everybody
even
needs a pillow. Sorry.
Try not to interrupt people. Minutes.
I think I've got some of your fur in my mouth. Yeah.
I do apologize.
Oh, it's okay. Not the first time. Coffee?
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah. So he kind of gets up, shimmies. He hasn't met the orc-like creature. So his life. So he's there. He's kind of blinking. He's right. Just very, very slowly turning and seeing this big green creature.
He's not green.
No,
Oh,
he's not.
so
He's red.
he's red.
Yeah.
Just like.
Picks up a mug, pours a cave, offers it to you quietly. Good morning. I am Ku. It is my pleasure to meet you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of interesting what happened because Ku was nice enough to get us the cores back from the boats.
It is generally.
They got stolen.
It is generally, and he frowns at you, Varys, for interrupting him. It is generally considered polite when one introduces himself to reply. He says,
Colwyn Mundus.
It is my pleasure to meet
many
you,
apologies.
Colwyn Mundus. A cave for you and your lady friend.
Yeah, that'll be good.
I have breakfast on the stove, on the fire, if you would like to, for bite to eat.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Jadis, food in bed.
Ooh, yes. Have a nibble of something.
Right. I'll get you the full Earl's Bay. I don't know what the full English equivalent would be, so I'm going to go with the full Earl's Bay.
It probably would be very similar. It is probably the most English of cities to a certain extent.
Or a bayman's breakfast or something like that.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, he goes, loads plates up as much as appropriate, and he kind of just comes back, smile. Tate has flicked off his cloak, and so kind of past your cover. We got company.
I enjoy the show.
He's big and he's red and he's old-fashioned.
Oh, what is he?
Apparently. And
I
he just
love
goes, just
the
like,
breakfast.
yeah.
And
Gently
yes,
clinks mug and slides
Yep.
up next to her.
she's gotten dressed.
Mm.
She's been playing
Hmm.
trap kind of thing. So yeah, she's gonna drink a coffee and munch on her food.
You
Okie
see,
dokie do.
as you're sitting there watching, you see Koo pull more food out of a bag that seems empty at first, and keeps putting food out, cooking more. And it's well done. It's basic, basic solid breakfast with whatever you'd want.
Nice.
Tanya, I need a tinkering check from you.
I'm going to do a check and then let me know if it's successful or not. That is a natural 20.
Nice.
Nice.
Very, very gingerly. You mark all of where the connectors are first before you start tinkering with it. And if they had a lot of trouble, you get it reconnected. And there's a slight hum as you test the power. And while you weren't on the wave dancer previously, it sounds like it's running better than it had previously. Oh, sorry, the River Siren had been. You close up the hatch, lock it down. A little bit wet, a little bit bedraggled. I'm assuming you've got a heavy cloak or something.
I have
Give it a
my
bit dry.
cloak, yeah.
Head back in, Golda. Check the ropes. Go over the ship. Doesn't seem to have been any damage in the night.
Excellent.
I kind of imagined her, if that wouldn't have been a natural 20, I would have imagined her being like working on it, and then if it didn't immediately start working, she would have done one of those Peter Stormare episodes from Armageddon where she like clanks it like, there we go, we can get moving.
I haven't seen the
That
movie.
reference does not appear in my database.
No. Yeah.
No, I know the reference. Yeah, fair enough. Not.
Anyway, you guys head back in, find that there's a breakfast here. Greg and I believe probably Gelder come back in similar sort of time, having reinstalled the
Yeah.
thing, gone over the ships, check them for any damage,
Yeah.
and you find that there's a fairly substantial breakfast on the fire available.
Oh, who's been busy?
Who looks up and smiles. Least I can do, sir.
Oh, good man. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Well, a gentleman,
gentleman.
anyway. Right, thank you, Koo. I'm looking forward to this. Nothing like a bit of early morning rigging just to get yourself going.
Hey,
I'll drink to that.
even the sails need wind.
Right.
Jadis makes sure that the troops fully sort of like kind of sorted and ready, and they haven't forgotten anything. And God damn it, will that little one please just pay attention?
And you all have breakfast there is quite easily enough for everybody. Probably more than enough.
Oh, splendid.
So what's the plan?
Load everything back onto the boats and get going.
We're not expecting another
No.
storm out of nowhere. Oh, that's good.
I doubt it with Koo being here. I don't think the guy's going to come back in a hurry.
There's a lot. Yeah. No, you wouldn't have known about it. You were dead to the world.
Yeah.
Q smiles gently. I do what I can. I'm just glad I was able to be of assistance.
Good. Good. Yeah, that's good.
If everyone has eaten, I might suggest.
Yeah,
a quick stand.
day's not getting any longer.
Right.
Greg looks at Vernon and goes, "Are you going to be up for steering the ship?" Vernon, it's a bit glassy-eyed still. He goes, "I don't know. If I'm up or you or the young Master Dark Fist, I'm still
Aye.
a bit rattled."
I can go on the supply barge with you, sir, and handler. Right, Greg, you're going to be all right on that.
I'll be
that
fine.
one. Excellent. Right, well, let's get ourselves loaded then. Horsemasters, lead
And
on. Let's get loaded.
So they start loading the ships back up, and horses, not overly fond of the rain, but much more settled than they were previously. Loaded
Right.
onto the ship. Supplies that were brought back on. Troop quickly makes their way to the ship led by Jadis. Everyone else makes their way to the ship, and you cast off. I'll get a ship handling check from you with advantage.
Mm-hmm. Best I can do is a 15.
Okay, a little bit rough, but you manage it easy enough. It's easier with the water still moving quickly, but the water is still high and a bit choppy because of the rain still pushing the level down even after it has slowed down. Due to volume
I'm not used to this barge either. I'm used to the
but
other one.
yeah, it's just nature of rivers that the water continues rising even after the rains pass because of water coming down.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And there's still stuff floating in, so I will take my usual kind of the same position that I had before and mark stuff.
And you
Thankfully not as wet.
manage to Sorry, I was just checking the thing. Free absences, call it off today. Seeing if we got time, that means to keep going.
Yep.
Yeah, I need to just nip off and sort my mum out. I'll be back in 5 or 10.
Not a problem. Vinny, I'll get a perception check from you. Again, you spot prestidigitation lighting up dangerous spots, floating logs, rocks, and you manage to guide it fairly well for Greg. And as good as Gulda was, there's definitely a surer hand on the tiller. Just from he's been on this boat for decades.
Probably knows the river as well.
Hours pass. Someone want to do a handling check for me? Just I'll just assume he's past it with Vernon's aid at this point. The rain stops, sun peeks through the clouds.
Hey, it's better.
Bit wet, bit worse for wear. Again, hood up, mask on. Q stands at the front of the boat, staring off into the distance. Does anyone want to do anything starting from the top? So it'll be Colin.
How much further is the travel to?
Let's say you've got another 2 or 3 days. Another 2 days from the river, from what Greg's been able to tell you. And then probably a 3 or 4 to Dragon Watch Keep or Dune City, whichever way you want to call it. Both names are accurate and right.
Let me see. Nothing jumps immediately to mind. Colin is kind of lost in his own thoughts, his own plans, and so he's just carrying on until he needs to keep watch or required for anything else. So yeah, and it's taking him a long time to read because he's not had to read like this for a while. It's very, very difficult. Kind of, if anyone was like passing by him when he was out and about or walking around, they would hear him kind of sounding out certain words and just going, "Oh yeah." Oh,
With the Goblin Book.
yes.
All right. Do you want to roll a intelligence check? Because you're trying to self-teach a language.
It's going to take me a while.
Can it take you a while?
Yeah.
You basically
Going through.
hear him start singing the alphabet, basically.
Yeah. Hey,
A, B, C.
you got to start somewhere.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Basically, so you read your Goblin Book, trying to piece together, you sing the common alphabet, halfling alphabet, try to figure out what the alphabet is for the goblin.
In so far as
Yeah.
they have one in terms of putting things together. But yeah. I'm just curious as to whether or not the noises he makes accidentally sound like something in Tabaxi. There's the equivalent of jumping along
Roll
and
a
suddenly
d20 for me.
7.
Venny, wandering past, you swear he has said something that is not repeatable to you.
Bite your tongue. It'll help with the sounding of the last vowel.
Oh, it's instead of
Yes, there you go. And
mm.
no, I do not offer that service.
I'll add that to the list.
Out of curiosity, Asher, because I weren't able to pick more than like one other language for my background in class and stuff like that. Dwarvish seemed natural because that's her upbringing.
Region,
But during her time and years with study and stuff with Gertie, would my character perhaps have picked up a bit of goblin as well?
we'll get to you in a second, and we'll do a few rolls there for you. Golda, going from the bottom. Standing there, Vernon. Sitting at the tiller, handling the ship. You fall into quiet conversation with, probably for you, not quiet, with Vernon.
I can be quiet when I'm asleep.
Yeah, well, he brings out a bottle of fine spirits, whiskey, pours you a glass as the train stops.
Oh, no, that's a welcome sight.
I
Proper
thought you might
dwarvish
appreciate.
whiskey. Wow. And he sips it. He doesn't just neck it, he sips it.
Yeah, connoisseur.
If you're going to get good stuff like that, you want every last drop to be tasting good.
Hey, from the Rivers Coast itself. Sorry. Yes, from the Rivers Coast itself, I believe.
Aye. Oh, that's a welcome drop of home.
Mm. I thought you might appreciate it. I've been saving it for a special occasion, and not being sort of out of business seems like a special occasion.
Well, I better luck that Koo came along. Do you know anything about it? I've not really heard of him, to be honest.
Roll persuasion.
Not my best skill, if I'm being absolutely honest with you.
You'll have to roll high.
Really?
He looks at you suddenly, tight-lipped, and goes, "I do, but that is his tale.
I see.
I've known him
Nope.
many years."
Well, fair enough. Don't worry. Just curiosity, really. He seems quite a gentleman. He's already made a very good and welcome impression on me. I'll tell
He's
you.
a very soul of honor. And you know what they say about curiosity? Curiosity killed the tabaxi.
Well, exactly. But no, I'm sure if he wants to tell me, or us, he'll tell us in his own good time. Leave the man be. He's been of more than amazing help already. He's, as I say, quite a gentleman. I like the guy a lot. And leave him to himself and leave him be.
It's to be advised.
Aye. Well, you don't want to be on the wrong side of him, do you?
You really don't.
And this whiskey is damn good.
Pause you another.
Oh, aye, all right. One more for the road. I want to be able to stay straight, you know?
Easy enough. You just follow the siren.
Well, that's what I was doing.
And you settle into a quiet conversation, just general chat.
Yeah, some of the stuff that I've seen on the sea and
engaging
in one sailor to another, really.
Yeah. Basically, you talk seaman talk.
Yeah, just talk shop. So.
Yep. Jadis.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you wanted to do?
Well, Jadis is just sort of kind of going over stuff with the troop again, kind of.
Okay.
The order of the order of the music, what timings for it.
Okay, so training session, impromptu training session. I'll get a performance check with advantage because you've been practicing for some time now.
Nat 20. So 26.
Not a problem. Make a note that carrying forward to the main performance, you'll have a +2 bonus to your check for that.
Wow.
Hey,
That
practice
was
makes
a good
perfect.
practice. No kidding.
He's had several good practices on it over the past few sessions.
I'll probably need it for the main freaking.
Hey, practice pays off in the long run, hopefully. Tanya,
Yep.
Hmm.
what would you like to do in this travel session?
Well, she would like to approach Ku. He was standing on the bow, just staring forward,
Mhm.
wasn't it?
Yep,
She will.
just lost in forward, watching something and looking into the distance.
Yeah. She will approach him kind of gingerly and like, excuse me. I have a question for you.
I may or may not have an answer for you.
She smiles and she reaches down to her side and unattaches her old tome of artificing that she's had for
Mhm.
a number of years, and hands it over towards him. And she's like, "I've had this for a number of years, and I've been studying it, learning from
Okay.
it. But I'm only partly away from just partly managed to decipher some of its contents, as well. You can tell if you look in it, it's not like a commonly known language. Perhaps
He
you would,
takes it. He takes it,
perhaps you
opens
would
it.
recognize it.
Yeah, well, but I can read it. He opens it and goes, I believe it is Salamnian, the language of your forebears before the fall. And yes, I can read it.
Oh,
He smiles.
I would very much like to learn more of this language.
Unfortunately, I cannot teach you. We don't learn languages, we simply know them.
Would you perhaps have some
Roll a
time?
wisdom check for me, Nord.
Mhm.
It's just to realize, no,
5.
straight over your head. He, I, I would teach you, but I don't actually know this language. I can read it though.
Read it. Would you perhaps be able to like help me translate it?
If you, yeah, I can help you with this.
That would be very preferable, as
And
I'm trying to learn as much as I can.
he can tell you what each word mean, but he can't
Mhm.
tell you what they actually say. It's hard to describe. He doesn't know the language, but he can read it.
Mm. Well, as long as it
As he
helps me
said.
a little bit more towards understanding the language between his translating of the words for me, and also from what she managed to learn from Shepard in the brief time they had.
So basically, he goes through and he translates a foreword for you, tells you what each of the words means. You scribe it down. Basically, what the words. So you've got a copy of what's there and what the words on the first few pages are, which is basically a foreword which speaks of the author, Denovan Bay. Not Denovan Bay, but about Denovan Bay and how this scribe was attached to his service during the founding of what later became Earl's Bay.
That is very interesting. And this is like the book where she learned all her artificing from.
Mm.
So
There are several diagrams later, but it basically it's the introduction about the author and their who they are and their experience with artificing.
okay.
Basically, setting their credentials forward as why they're a learned member of this craft.
Okay.
Justifying their right to put it down in a book, basically. egocentric bullshit.
Would it be probably not, but not enough information from Ku and Shepard together to actually sit down and learn the language?
It's going to take you some time, man. It does give you a groundwork to start translation and start learning the language, though. Though you would have to study and decipher and grow with it and work on it over a period of time.
Yeah.
A long period of time. You might be able to use that as a cipher to translate it, but that does not mean you can speak it or read it, so to speak.
Yeah, I can use it as
It takes time to study and learn. But he's given you the groundwork to be able to do that.
Yep. That is good. And also for the other question I had earlier, if
Roll a d20 for me.
Just a straight d20?
Straight d20. Depends. Tells to let me know how much Gertie gave a damn.
13.
She really didn't take the effort to teach you, Goblin Man. You know a few swear words from listening to her yelling at stuff that wasn't working properly, or when she was annoyed. But she generally spoke common around you. She generally spoke common in common because there was no goblins to talk to. She did, there was goblins that she went spoke to that she helped settle it, but it was generally you weren't going with her in that because you had your own things to do.
Yeah, fair enough.
As a student and craftsman.
So other than that, she'll, other than the conversation she had with Ku, she will spend a lot of the time they have in traveling towards Dune. She will spend deciphering more of the old tome, see if she can learn anything more.
Not a problem. Varys.
I spent some time reading my book. I spent some other than that, I just like go down the bunk, lay down, and let let Millie fly around a bit and let me know if she sees anything.
So you just get some R&R?
Yeah.
Not a problem. The day passes into the third day of travel now. One more until you get to the drop-off point for this series of travel. Basically, it's a travel session. There's not going to be a lot happening. It's just for you to do some character development, follow through with anything that you want to do with me, go from the bottom up. If anyone's got anything, just if you don't, just pass. You can all see who's there in there. What's his name? Varys. Was there anything you wanted to do for this?
Same as the previous day.
Okay.
Reading, flying, nothing much.
You're not getting much more from your book. You've already had an identity put to this thing. You've been told it's celestial, that it's from the Feywild. I mean, there is someone that told you that literally that you could talk to. Outside that, if you don't want to do that, we can move on to tenure.
Other than transcribing a bit more of the book,
probably continue working with Ku.
Yeah, she will do that. Yeah, and also in whenever she has, if there's a point where she has a bit time to herself, she will sit down and focus a bit and see if she's able to sense, get any sort of sense at all. Though she highly doubts it, even trying. But out of desperation, she tries to sit down and see if she can sense Shepard at all.
Roll a d20 for me.
And no, 2.
Not even remotely.
No. She sighs and goes back to her other businesses.
Not a problem, Jadis.
Well, my troop have been practicing very hard, and they have been absolutely smashing it. So I am putting forth just a general fucking have fun jam session.
So you put on a bit of a show for the crew, everyone.
For the crew, for the kind of the troop, it's basically you guys have fun with what you do. So you've probably got a couple of guys kind of
Okay.
beat dancing on one side. There's bawdy tavern songs going off somewhere else.
Not a problem.
It's an absolute kind of
Jam
mash of
session.
music. Yeah, music.
It's a party boat.
dancing.
You have made
It's
a party
fucking-
boat.
I have made a party boat.
Not a problem. Zelda.
Prestidigitation lights on there, and it's gonna disco. Fucking
Love
Zelda.
it, barge.
Zelda, you're not on the party boat, unfortunately. You are on a different
That
sort
was
of
probably
party
a good
boat.
idea considering the amount of whiskey he's drunk.
The
Wait,
next
he's
day,
been drinking.
Yeah, hold up. Let me continue. The next day, between yourself and Vernon, you've managed to steer the ship through the night, the day, through shifts, rested, tied up at night, later in the night, got a night's rest, continued on.
Uh-huh.
Continuing conversation with Vernon again, brings out that bottle. You realise that it is, you think it's the same bottle, it's open, but it has refilled itself. Unless it's a different bottle. Pours you another.
Bottle, young man.
He smiles and winks.
Well,
It's
that's quite the
special.
wizard's trick.
A very special bottle. Cost me more than I care to say, but
Well, aye. I think these things are worth it, though, if you're working.
I believe it was. And pours you a glass.
Aye, why not? Breakfast whiskey. I never thought I'd see the day.
You spell
Right.
magic.
I don't
Pours
fucking
himself
think
on.
you're not close enough.
No. I don't even have the spell, but
Well, not
And
yet.
he
No.
goes, I'll share another one with you later. A fine drop, if I must say so.
It is a fine drop. Aye, I can't complain, can I? Right.
No.
Show on the road again. Let's get going. Here we go.
Away we go. Straight out. What are they up to on that other boat? Look at the just
I don't
what the-
know. I'm guessing the dance troupe's having a bit of a shindig again. They do seem to like it.
a bit of a party crowd.
A little bit, aye. Entertainers.
you hear
Well,
you hear a
there you go.
Odds.
you hear a mechanical howl from the steel defender trying to howl in tune with the music.
In the distance, you hear a voice shout out, "There, Golda! Will someone shut that damn beast up?"
It howls louder.
I'm trying to steer the ship straight. I can't do it when I'm laughing.
Colin.
Yes. Enough study. Study's hard. Life has been hard. It's time to get loose. So drinking, shimmying. If you've got a pole, I'll dance for it. That's how funky he's getting.
Some of the younger dancers and bards have set up a game of spin the bottle in one corner, which nearly rolls off from the motion of the waves. And they're all giggling and talking. And there's dancing, there's singing. It's craziness. Yeah.
At this point,
A few of them
very
duck down
briefly,
into the
Colwyn comes over to spin the bottle. No. You need a bowl of water, and then you need something in the middle of it to spin it properly.
Well, show us how.
And yes, proceeds to through his very weirdly specific knowledge, get what would normally be a just a bowl for soup or something, partly fill it with water, and then from there place in it either a pencil or a stylus, and then just go whoa, and then you're dropping it in and see who it lands on. So that's how you do it. So yeah, it's being a wholesome frat bro.
Oh, it points to a young lassie. He goes, "Well, you going to kiss her or not?"
Oh, and he does the most kind of demure, overly sort of sentimental yet somehow roguish thing. My lady, be my pleasure, and so sort of pulls her up and looks deep into her eyes, and then gives her a small kiss on the nose and says, "I must away. I am needed elsewhere."
She blushes furiously.
Glad Tanya's not in the mix of that.
Yeah, he's perhaps the most kind of relaxed and happy in like the entirety of the time that anyone who's been around him has seen it.
Jadis, whereabouts are you in all this as the party's going on?
No, she's with the dancers, sort of like kind of showing off her kind of acrobatics and dexterity.
What's your passive perception?
Perception is 17.
17. You become aware of a gaze watching you. You turn to see Ku leaning against the front of the thing, staring at you. Does not look away as you meet his gaze. There's a frown on his face.
So I kind of stops and opens her arms wide. Would you like to dance?
Softly he leans forward and whispers into your ear. Send you a DM's the easiest way.
Permission to roll my perception to see if I notice this.
Yeah, go for it.
Brain. Yeah.
You,
I think he does.
She's
as
gonna-
you're
gonna
walking
whisper.
away from the group, you see
Sorry, I
this
didn't mean to
huge
interrupt.
orc lean forward and say something very softly and quietly into Jadis's ear. Sorry, Jadis, were you replying something there?
I'm just trying to think of how to sort of like kind of word it back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can take a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, side note, what?
She whispers back.
Yep.
Kind of conspiratorial typing.
As far as this goes, I'm just going to quickly role play something. It's kind of interesting because while this party is going on, it's interesting because Millie lands on the other barge, and it's interesting because the guys in the other barge, because the guys on the other barge are going to hear Varys's voice come through Millie. They better not be drawing on my face right now.
Leave yourself vulnerable. And
Be
it has
more.
happened previously.
And to be fair, Golder's trying not to laugh. And you just hear him just going, well, I bet they are, but I bet the design's bloody good. All that makeup.
Jadis is going to sort of like kind of gently kind of grab one of his hands and sort of like kind of lead it down to her waist, and she's just going to say, well then show me how you track.
Roll a dexterity check.
I would like
20.
to.
Or is it a dexterity check or a dexterity save?
No, dexterity check. Just straight dex.
9.
He gently takes the lead as he leads you out into an open space. For someone as big as he is, his steps are light and graceful as he leads you. You are so surprised by how smoothly he moves that you almost stumble for a moment before he catches you easily, and you feel the sheer strength in restraint in those hands as he supports you, leading you gracefully in this dance.
Hey, just follow along. Trying to pick it up as I go.
Colwyn sort of passes by and whispers, well, as much as he can, well, in a low voice, something to her as he's going to get a drink. Which I have DM'd you.
Yeah. She just kind of, she just laughs, carries on.
Okay.
She's having fun.
Yeah, so is he. So what's going to happen after that is that as the guys finishing up their set, he kind of goes and has a quick word and says to them, do you know Nasruddin? Nasruddin.
Oh my god.
There was a certain man in Earlsby long ago, and his eyes are flaming gold. Yeah. So you've got, if I may be so bold, to take centre stage for a moment,
Yeah, go
both
for it.
literally and figuratively. Assuming within this kind of point, the sign comes to the end, and it goes. He kind of clears space on the deck. He's halfling, a tall halfling, but a halfling. So he goes, okay, crew, if you'd be so kind. And he starts to do a jig and clap his hands.
Roll a performance check for me.
Okay. Yes, 17.
Okay. Keep going.
And starts to kind of strut as the music kind of builds and the lyrics start to pop off. And then as the chorus goes, he is switching between doing the Cossack kick and into the worm before popping up again into the regular kind of dance. It's kind of gesturing for kind of people to join as well. But he just felt like getting a bit extra funky there. I will send Asher at some point the kind of bits that I thought would be funny for Nasruddin.
You're right, mate. That's awesome. Well done.
I would imagine a couple of the troop would actually join in as a sort of like kind of flash mob rah.
And they they really do. Before long, you've got a group of backup dancers dancing with you, and they follow your movements, a beat behind you, but they follow what you're doing. And at the end, there is a rowdy cheer and a round of applause. Even Koo slowly collapses, slight grin on his face.
Mops his brow. There's a smile. Ah, let it be the day that you witnessed the Scoundrel Summerford personal performance for you.
Well, cheers from the dance troop.
He, in response, Koo walks over quietly to several of the members of the Bards that have drums. He goes, leans forward, can you match his beat? And sets a beat with his hands and walks forward, takes off his cloak, and performs what is essentially a haka.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Shit, I'm missing all of this.
That weird thing of, oh, you're missing so much by not going out and seeing people. Then in game, oh, I'm missing so much out by having to be boring and do my job.
To a certain extent, Gulda, he's enough of an imposing figure that you can almost see it from that distance.
Right. It's in because Art says again. Although every time you say nah, you have to beat up with mom.
Moment's gone.
Yeah. We're into the hacker now. But yes.
Basically, yeah, there you go. It's very Polynesian, Pacific Ocean Islander sort of.
Yeah.
They're pretty much all sort of in that sort of thing. It's just, as an Australian, I think it comes to terms with them on the sort of thing is a haka because you're Maoris. That's what I'm familiar with, basically. But he does take off his shirt and his red skin from the neck down is covered in tattoos that almost rive and dance as he performs this. And it's not all one sleeve, it's individual pieces that are separated, threaded together by as if telling a tale on his skin. You realise, seeing him without his shirt, that not only is he large, he is heavily coated with massive musculature. And you realise that there was no magic involved with what happened to Donovan. It was just pure physical power. He looks like he could snap a Minotaur in half.
Fucking A.
Anya stands there clapping, enjoying it, and she kind of like uses her masquerade tattoo, her liquid ink, to like kind of like match his patterns, but makes it basically doing a like a Maui. What's he called from the movie?
It's Maui, and it's the impression that you get from his tattoos. Is that they almost seem that like they're alive.
Yeah, that's pretty much what she does with her tattoos, because she has the liquid ink tattoo thingy. Just standing there enjoying it, clapping.
Finishes his dance, puts his shirt back on, walks towards you, Tanya. Leans forward and goes, I would request that you not do that again. Will not make a mockery of my victories in my life story.
I'm sorry.
These were
Very well. I'll keep that in mind.
turns and walks away.
Whoops.
Well, as I tried to say, it wouldn't be an exact match to it. It would be more like in the same style, but like different.
But the impression he got was not what you probably intended.
Ooh, she breathes out heavily, like, that was tense.
Jadis is going to quickly clip her bells to her wrists and ankles, and she's going to step into the centre and perform one of the more sultry belly dancers that she knows. Hopefully, because she can.
Roll
Ooh,
performance.
we're about to find out.
Nat 20.
In
26.
fact,
Yes, she can.
as you sway and shimmy, and you hear in Tabaxi, Kusei, show me how you stalk your prey huntress.
You could probably pick up on that just in terms of tone. Sorry.
Freaking does. It is like kind of probably the most erotic thing that the majority of them have seen that doesn't involve a bedroom.
Erotic without being sordid or smutty, I think it's
No,
important to say.
it is very classy to a certain extent.
Unlike all her other dancers, where she actually uses prestidigitation to sort of like a flick of colour throughout her fur, she just leaves her fur in a sort of like kind of silver with mottled leopard spots.
Several of the young male members of the troupe suddenly have a need to be downstairs.
Handshake.
Several of the
Wrong.
female dancers also have
I'm just going to the prow. A prowl of the prowl of the prow. Pray.
I'm enjoying my whiskey.
Oh, that's what I call it. Smoky finish.
as the day passes. And was there anything anyone else wanted to do before we?
Not
If
Frank.
anyone's suddenly infected.
I think, yeah, we basically covered everything there
Yeah.
that needs to be covered.
A few things that shouldn't be, and they will be cleaning it up after themselves, I swear.
That's it, problem.
Didn't know the river water was supposed to be salty.
Oh, really? Too far.
Yeah.
Well, I take it too far.
Tanya pulls
Uh,
herself, pulls
sorry,
herself
go on.
back. Yeah, Tanya kind of pulls herself back a bit, looks for the strongest drink she can find, and her tattoo covers her entire arms and face completely black, almost as if her mood is trying to like hide herself in embarrassment. And she pulls back in the corner and downs the drink.
I think you might need bleach to wash that image away.
No, but just from embarrassment from her interaction with Goo just back then. She's embarrassed. It
Right.
feels like she did wrong.
Got you.
So as the party winds down, everyone's happy, smiling, feeling refreshed, and Greg leads the ships to a anchorage point for the night before everyone's getting a decent night's sleep. No actual point to spend off the ship, so long rest on board, which suits colour to the T.
Mhm.
And you get a long rest, uneventful, quiet. Is there anything that anyone wants to do at this period?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
And he's just going to make sure that the dance troupe actually kind of calm down and get sleep properly, and make sure that all of the equipment,
Make sure that everybody's in their own beds.
and make sure that kind of all the props and costumes are all right as well.
Yeah, I'd just check over the shit before I went to bed and then
Yeah.
go to bed.
Okay. I'll take people silence as a move on.
Yes, I think I successfully killed the mood, just as planned.
No, that's good. Come awake, meal prepared, hot carve. Ku again pulling from his seemingly endless sack of food and supplies. Cooking a small meal on a fire by the riverbank. Several logs sit around to sit on, and if there's nothing that people want to do there, we'll get on the way again and just what people want to do for this last day of travel on the river.
I would ask for a quick 5-minute break just to go get myself a coffee and do something healthy. And yeah, because I think we're pretty much near the end.
I'd say we're winding down for the session, mid. If there's nothing anyone wants to do, we'll just mark it as a recovery day from the exertions of the previous day.
Yeah, I would
What
say
exertion?
that Jadis has given a ban on any sort of like playing, dancing, or anything. Today is purely rest.
With some stretches.
Yep.
I'm fine.
Yep.
What's wrong with you all?
And actually, quick sort of like kind of medical once-overs just to catch any potential sort of kind of strained muscles.
Yep.
Pulled tendons or something like that.
I'd say it's fairly easy to do. No real check needed on that. You lead the group in stretching exercises, whatnot. A few small aerobic sort of, getting warmed up and sort of starting your day fitness stuff without any implements there. as such.
Yeah, it's just to sort of make sure that literally kind of when days before the performance, I don't want anyone.
Getting all stretched up to the peak performance ready.
Yep.
Tenure.
Still completely black tattooed, hanging over the railing from several embarrassment shots and drinks, hanging over the railing this morning. Steel defender with the paws on the railing, using his mouth to hold her hair back.
Varus.
Nothing really.
Cold up. You've got, sorry.
I was going to say, is there any, because after the party on the previous day, I try and get onto the wave runner the next day.
Not a problem. That is no issue, man. So you spend the day in the company of
Boulder and
V, isn't it? What's his name, Vinny?
Vernon.
Vernon. There you go. I'm glad other people remember. I've got too many names floating around my head.
And then no, Golden just goes, I'm fine. He's got advantage against poisons and stuff, so
Yep.
and he's resistant to poisons too, so he doesn't care about hangovers. The whiskey's delicious. And he takes over the boat, casts off,
Okay.
it's ready.
Colin, is there anything you wanted to do?
No, not kind of particularly. It's already again used to be a thing of just kind of rolling over and just going, "Oh, I'm getting too old for this." So, flex, still got it just. But, I need to watch my joints.
Tanya, you hear it feel a large hand on your shoulder. I'm sorry.
Could the ink possibly darken even more?
There's no need to feel ashamed. You did not understand. As you're sort of standing there, you feel a wave of warmth pass through you, and the illness that you were feeling from your hangover fades and dissipates.
That feels better. Again, I'm really sorry.
You were, alas, how are you to know? We are a secret people. It comes from being old. Ancient
well,
even.
Aside from offending, this ink has turned out to become rather useful, and it is actually a skill I've learned from the old times. As,
A useful thing. Mark your victories so that you and those you travel with never forget.
well, that, and as you can tell, it's also fluid, so I can use it for many different things. But as I was saying, it's from skills acquired from the book I've been studying that I showed you. I've been meaning to learn as much as I can these skills that come from lifetime.
You've got a long road ahead of you rediscovering a lost art. It's good to see. It is good to see humankind recovering their heritage.
I'm
You've
trying.
discovered other things in the meantime. I wish you well, young one.
Thank you.
Chin up. You've not offended me. My blood was up, and I took offence when I should not have.
It's all fine. I tend to get. I haven't really been around too many people. I'm a bit awkward when it comes to social cue. When it comes to social.
Are you okay?
Yeah, just lingering effects from last night. I do feel better though. Thank you. I do feel better. That helped.
What helped? Whatever. Okay. You're welcome. And there's a question turned to him.
Oh, didn't he actually make her feel better?
If he did, he's not admitting it.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, whatever it is he did, I do feel better. The lingering, I did drink quite a lot, and probably should have drunk a bit more. Whoa, a bit more. And she hangs over the railing again.
He gently holds your hair back.
Oh, thank you. I think I need meat and carne.
Aye.
Some pork, I think.
Let's make a meal. We can sit down and talk. I can assist you with your book if you would like.
Oh, I would love that.
And
Can you just make the floor stop moving?
no, it's a river.
That is true.
He pauses for a moment, thinks, no, and continues on.
If only there was a doctor nearby.
And that's basically where we'll call the session as you guys travel into your final day of travel on the river.
Excellent.
So, starting from the bottom, MVP, that.
Good moments from a few people, but if I had to do anything, Colin Colwyn's dancing and Colwyn helping by staying away.
Fair enough.
Nord.
I'd say Colwyn and his wonderful performance.
Okay. Okay.
Was like to see.
It was. Jadis.
I'm going Colin as well for Rara.
Yeah.
Nazarene.
Would it be Nana?
No, Nazarene.
Yeah.
There you
As opposed to Rara Rasputin.
I think we all got that reference.
No, we
Yeah.
Gulda. Abraza. Bill.
I'm going for Jadis because when she made several of her troops suddenly disappear because of a dance, I just thought that was fantastic.
That was great.
I just thought, yeah,
Using a boat in one roll, fucking balls.
I know exactly.
Pretty
I just thought that was class. I just thought, fucking hell, yeah, you just seduced an entire bit of the Bards Guild. Fair enough. That rocks. So yeah, there we go. Although to be fair, everybody had a good day.
Yeah.
This one.
Actually,
Colwyn's dance was great, and Varys with Millie, and yeah, nodding about. It's great. So yeah,
He does
everybody-
very good with the awkwardness of it.
Yeah,
He
that
really
was
plays it
really
well.
Keep in mind, this is she is a person with a -1 modifier to her charisma. She's not a good person.
No,
So
you
mine-
really portray it. You really portray it in a really good, awkward way. Very different to what Gulda's brusque and bluntness.
Yes.
Colwyn.
Yes.
Jadis.
The power of pussy compels you.
I know the
That's
name.
also my offering for the name of the session.
Oh,
Oh, you're not putting that name up on YouTube.
It's not going to get any votes, but
No, it's not everybody's vote. We just can't use it.
Yeah, and it's going to get dishonorable mentions for one.
Right. Gulda. Name. If that's Colwyn's name, give me something else that I can work with.
Tales of the Riverbank. I don't know.
Yeah, Jadis.
Take inspiration.
Sorry?
Bardic inspiration.
Bardic inspiration.
Nice.
yeah.
I like that.
I'd say the party barge.
Party Barge. Ferris. Sorry.
I'll don't do that. I shall say on.
Big Red Smash.
Big Red what?
Big Red Smash.
Big Red Smash. Alright.
Okay.
Big Red Smash, and then he owns the Smash.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. We're voting from the top. The power of Eds is not viable. If I hear any votes for it, I will ask you to re-vote. That being noted, Colwyn. Ed.
Choices?
Yes, please.
You've got
Just
You got Big Red Smash. You got Party Barge, and you've got
Bardic inspiration.
party barge. Party barge.
Party Barge. Gulda.
I'm voting for Jadis.
Bardic inspiration. Yes. Benny.
You can vote for yourself if you like.
Yeah.
For myself, because Bardic inspiration.
Bardic inspiration. Tanya.
yeah, give it to Bardic Inspiration.
Alright. Varys will close it out, man. Even if
Where are we at with scores?
3 for Bardic. It's one anyway, but
Alright, so don't worry about it, it's already one.
I always like to know what people are thinking.
If anything, I would have gone Party Barge my own.
Yeah.
Who got the inspiration again?
You did.
Thank you.
The whole Bardic Inspiration episode there, that kind of reminded me of one of those meme videos where you see a party where a party approaches a door, and then the bard goes, "I will seduce the door."
Oh, I imagine that if you tried the door, it would go very hard.
Yeah.
I suggest you stay away from that door. No, I
Well,
would suggest that for your own safety, you would have had to stay away from that door. Would have been very hard.
Yes. That
Have you
was
seen
it.
the one shot questions that I kind of put up in out of character chat?
Yes.
D&D counters be like,
Alright, I'm just going to remind Ash here to make sure that when he uploads this, to click adult content. When he uploads to YouTube.
Yes, yes. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching and staying with us. If you have, if you watch it later date, welcome. There's more on the I think episode 1 through to now is up there. We've been a bit better about it this time. always welcome new viewers. They're in it for the fun. I mean, it's more up there for us to come back to later on and have a giggle.
Hmm.
But we always welcome people that want to share the journey with us. We'll be back again next week. Hopefully all hands on deck again. If not, we'll work around it. Anyway, so long and thanks for all the not fish, because I'm sure that's copyrighted.
It probably is, yes.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Adams is awesome.
Hang on. And are you saying that we never do anything with copyright material? In this?
Never.
No, never.
Never. We are innocent.
Never.
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 Right, bye-bye.
And we're out.
Oh, by the way, in our character also, there's the reference I was talking about. Like, this is how we fix problems on the Russian space station.
Yes. Yeah. I end up seeing that. I remember. And so I put down in memes a version of Rasputin, which Ed sell. But this is a version of Rasputin where every single time someone says right, it gets faster by 10%.
Oh, God.
Nazareth, whatever it is.
Nazruddin. Which is funny because that also refers to, I think, the dragon in Skyrim, as well as an actual, 15th century Turkish traveller who got up to shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans rock. Yeah, cheers, Ash. Very enjoyable session. Good one to get back into it with.
It was a very late put together for me. I wasn't feeling well the last day or two. I was really tired and out of it. I haven't slept well in the last day or two. I'm glad I'm pretty sure I sounded a bit out of it.
A little bit, but not too bad. I've not been sleeping very well either.
Yeah.
But there we go.
Ed, stick around a bit so we can see what you were thinking about in terms of sponsorship and stuff. Because you did a bit of research and we are limited to what we can technically do. Unless we change where we stream it.
Right.
I am happy to actually tell people who Ku is if they are curious out of character, because I know this one